Welcome, welcome, crew, guys, gals, ghouls, anyone else out there beyond the omniverse tonight that is listening to us. Secure your tinfoil hats, buckle down tight, and hold on loosely as we soar over the rocky tops of the La Platas on a rocky mountain high, get sucked into the vortex of the Four Corners, and settle down snugly at mile marker 420 in colorful Colorado. It is Saturday, December 2nd, Sunday, December 3rd for those of you across the pond and beyond. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, and welcome to We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. I'm your host, TessaTNT, and we are broadcasting live from the Mile High Clubhouse tonight. So grateful you could join us. Hope you had an awesome week and a wonderful beginning to your weekend so far. If you're listening to us live right now, you may be listening to us on KPNL Radio, which you can find on KPNL Radio at kpnl-db.com. You may also find us on eTalk Radio, which you can find at etalk.tv/radio. Also on Spreaker under We Are Paradox Media. So if you like to watch the video as well as listen, make sure you look us up under Facebook, under We Are Paradox Media, as well as YouTube. If you don't mind, please subscribe like any video that you've watched or listened to, and leave us any comments, whether good or bad, or some future guests that you'd like us to have on. We're also live on Twitch under We Are Paradox Media 101, I believe it is. Well, it says We Are Paradox Media. I don't know. There's one out there that's We Are Paradox Media 101, but we're all over the place. So wherever you listen to your podcasts, look us up and we should be there. And subscribe to any of those places. So tonight I have a treat for all my guys and gals out there. Tonight we will be talking to and getting to know Mr. Brandon Vegas. And he is a CE5 Special Intelligence for Close Encounters and has made contact with non-human biological entities from the Orion constellation in Pearl City at the Highlands, Hawaii Twin Towers. Brandon is an empath sensitive within the autistic Asperger spectrum. He's highly gifted and has had many paranormal experiences. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Not a problem. So,
Nice.
my Hawaiian name is Kovena Kukamakani Kalani Ohonoa, which means I am the watchers of the heavens and the earth, and I stand firmly, deeply rooted to truth and righteousness. Are we there?
That's
Okay,
awesome.
yeah.
Who was that gave you that name?
One of my teachers in college. It means to stand. The whole name is when shit happens, are you gonna handle it or are you gonna not handle it? That's kind of what my name is. Mine is about to rise above the occasion and stand my ground as a man, as a Hawaiian, as a citizen of this planet. So when I was younger, my mom gave me up to a hospital called Leahi, where it was a military hospital. I used to be able to move things, as my mom would say. This is early, like maybe almost 80s now. I was locked up for 4 years in a program where government programs such as MK Ultra and the Montauk Project. So I was in the MK Ultra project in 1986. So during 1986, Ronald Reagan I do believe, was president, if I'm not mistaken. I used to draw ships when I wasn't doing MK Ultra stuff. I used to draw ships above the firmament, not knowing why I was drawing them. But then I found to realize that we had our own Space Force back in 1986, Project Star Wars. Under Ronald Reagan's administration, Project Star Wars, Solar Warden was made. It consists of 9 ships and 4 scout ships. But that was back then, so I'm sure there's a lot more now. But when Trump said Space Force, I was a little taken back because they really, really had it. So for 37 years, we've been traveling different star systems with the humans of planet Earth, clueless to what's going on. I happen to be C5 Special Intelligence now, but let's go back a little bit. So, as in this program, they taught us things. They taught us how to open up timelines, how to spy on different factors such as Russia, China. This is back in the day. So I, mean, I was too young. Didn't realize what the hell I was even doing. So when it got to 4 years of being in working for the government, not knowing I was even working for the government, um, I've seen a lot of things. I've seen what could have maybe. So okay, so MK Ultra and Montauk, they strap you into a UFO simulator and you open up timelines. Because of the younger that you are more subject to not having any kind of uh responsibilities, or you're not doing anything that there's a stamp on you. So your imagination is sky's the limits. So a lot of people tend to see things at that age, from 11 to 15 range. I mean, for me, I saw so much things in Hawaii. I just never put energy into it. You know, just kind of like, oh, there's it goes. But a lot of people would get freaked out by the gift that I had. So I kind of kept to myself. A lot of people could call me retard, you know, like freak or whatever. So I never really hung out with people. I just hung out by myself. I found pets are more interesting to be around than humans. Humans, I don't really, I don't know, my vibration does not quite match a lot of humans that I know. Let's put it that way. Um, at 15, I was out of the program. I thought I could go back home. My mom was acute bipolar, so my mom was very vicious. I was basically on the streets from the age of 15. So from 15 all the way, I survived the 80s, the 90s, and in the 2000s. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of shit and I've done a lot of things, but I've always had that gift of seeing things in the corner of my eyes, whether it be in a hiking trail or any ancient area in Hawaii. I would capture things on my phone. Just I thought my phone was haunted for a minute, you know, like, oh, I need to get a new phone. So I joke a lot, but all seriousness, I started seeing. I started in 2017. I started seeing actual UFO crafts, not knowing that that's what they were at the time. I was not really fully immersed into the UFO phenomenon. You know what I mean? I had a feeling that they were real. Just I don't know. I had a hunch. So me, I was a master Star Wars Lego builder. So I build nothing but spaceships. Me being autistic, I love watching UFO shows. I told you, I just had this notion that they were real. So underneath all of this, I have very, very expensive laser equipment that I use to. So after I started seeing a Tic Tac, the Go Fast, and a gimbal all over the CNN news, I was like, ooh, what if I set up an experiment with my lasers and aim it at different star systems? Maybe I might get a hit. Maybe I might see something. It could be anything. It could be a satellite, the space station, or a damn UFO. But I took my chances. I said, okay, we're gonna do this. So I deployed my lasers to Sirius B, to the Big Dipper, the Small Dipper, and then eventually to the Orion constellation. It wasn't too long before I started getting hits. I started seeing orange orbs, like high altitude. So before you yell UFO, you gotta kind of You have to like eliminate some things. Is that a drone? Is that a U? Is well, I can't even say that word. Is it a drone? Is it a high altitude drone? Is it an F-35, F-22, a glider, a helicopter, or just a drone? None of those matched whatever that was. So, but I still wasn't seeing UFO. So the next couple nights, I went downstairs about 6:45. No, about 7:30 is when they would show up just above the horizon, and they were interesting looking. Look like fractal prism diamonds in the sky. Look like look like stars, but if you if you're if you have a frequency that you have and that thing is starting to interact with you for some reason, it's like, yeah, what the hell is that? So eventually you started coming closer and closer, and finally it's like there's no no matter what anybody tells you, that's a freaking UFO. So whatever their intentions was, I was kind of fight or flight mode. You know what I mean? You're gonna run or you're gonna stand your grounds like a Hawaiian, like a human, like a man. And I stood my grounds. I didn't know what to do, but just waving them. I called them with the laser, so at least I might so figure out something. So one of my neighbors was crossing the street from Guitar Center. So I live right across of Guitar Center in the shopping center called Pro City Highland, and you got Sam's Club. And a lot of people that are take smoke breaks saw me interact with this thing, so they called the police. Police came. The police lost their mind when they saw it. I mean, I never saw grown ass men cave like that. I mean, to see the looks on their face was priceless. I had to basically wake them up and tell them what we need to do. That was embarrassing because you would think that these people of their stature would know what to do. Absolutely not. That's not how this story's gonna go. So I basically one left because he said it's against his religion and his beliefs. So I honored that he left. So we had to call the FBI. The FBI came. Even they were like, "Whoa," you know what I mean? Like a lot of people have never seen this before in Hawaii. So it's like, how am I thinking that they're going to respond? You know what I mean? There was a lot of people that were freaked out. It's never happened in the history of Hawaii. No one's ever done this. I'd be the first. So I had some stipulations. I had to sign a paper saying I wouldn't go to the news or I wouldn't go to the press. I seen some shit. Once you see what I've seen, there's no you went down that rabbit hole with Alice already. There's no coming back. There's no one can tell me that these things don't exist. They were 550 feet above our heads. Okay, any closer I could throw a rock. I've got the most immaculate pictures on Facebook. A lot of people still say Photoshop, CGI. I'm like, I live in a 41st floor of high rise. How am I going to say I happen to be handicapped? Can you show me the format to do CGI? I would love to. That would be cool to learn. But no, a lot of the military that came onto the property were jealous, if you will, because I'm not military, I'm non-trained, none of that. How come didn't happen to them? You know, they're more qualified and trained. And yeah, I spoke with NASA. I spoke. A lot of these cops called a lot of people. Like I spoke with NASA. I spoke with the Space Force, and Space Force was very rude. So was NASA. Instead of treating us like how we talk to in Hawaii, aloha, my brother, how you doing? And it was like, what the fuck did you do? Like automatically, I did something wrong, which I did. I used the laser. My bad. I'm sorry. But I used the laser because I was curious. You know what I mean? I was into astronomy. Was the planets were aligning. One thing led to another. Oops. I happened to see what maybe I shouldn't have seen. But I run an honest program. It is what it is. So I had to learn how to communicate while the military was standing 45 feet behind me. No one wanted to touch this one. No, 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 no. So I used, let me show you what I used. I used this. I have very expensive C5 gear. This is what I use. It's a regular, just the most hype, the most expensive laser that you can get on Amazon. It's very, very. Do not aim this in your face when you smoke weed. Price.
Whoa!
Yeah, don't do it. So I use this flashlight right here. So I asked questions to my newfound friends above. So I used ultraviolet. So I used red for no, green for yes, blue. I'm going to ask you questions. I don't know. Fuck, I didn't know what to do. The military wouldn't help me, so I had to do what I had to do. Took about 8 days. Where are you here to help us? Yes, green. Are you evil? Green, red. Yeah, I'll get to that in a little bit. But a lot of the questions were, "Are you here to help humanity? Because we're in a bad situation where we really, really need help." And they're like, "Yes." They're assigned to our quadrant. They're called the Galactic Federation. It took me a while to gain their trust, vice versa. I mean, imagine UFOs coming up to your 41st floor window being chased by the military. F-22 Raptors got scrambled from Pearl Harbor. If everybody knows that Pearl Harbor, when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor in 1947, December 7th. So Pearl Harbor has, after that happened, they pretty much upped their game. So our island is very much military. You know what I mean? Like if something comes in our airspace, they'll know about it. But apparently not. Apparently these things are way more advanced than we thought. It wasn't picked up on FAA. And that was like, whoa, cool technology. You know what I mean? I'm always into tech. So I was like, so the deal was this. I met with them. Uh, a girl named Cyrillus met me. She had almond shaped eyes, very big. She had blonde hair. She looked a lot like us, but her eyes were different. Her personality and who she is and everything spelled human. She's been observing our planet for some time, so she picked up a few habits such as she like burn. She talks like a human. She can use her eyes to communicate. And her ship, do you remember the game Simon Says? Her ship was like Simon Says. So it
Yeah.
has like blue, red, yellow, green on the top of the ship, like a crystal. But the ship was almost, you could see your reflection on the ship. It was like almost obsidian, almost like meteorite kind of material, like a metal material that I've never. I know Bob Lazar talks about 115 element 115, but this was something I've was really cool to see. You know what I mean? I was even allowed to take a ride. So people want to complain about it's flat, it's round, it's no, it's in between, you folks. It's not. A lot of people think that. I tell you, history lied to us, you guys. You got to understand that history is not what. It's just not, bro. We're adults now. We're not little children.
Yeah, generally the
So
winners write
imagine the
history,
rainbow.
and so it's not always correct.
Yeah. So the rainbow curves, right? It it. There's a reason that the rainbow curves. The filament is above us, where we can't say talk about Project Looking Glass. I told you, so now I'm CE5, so I was approached by people called the Men in Black. About 4 or 5 months ago, I was approached by people that don't exist. I've got top secret files and documents of things that the military and the government's been hiding for what 80 years or if not more. Like I know how. Okay, I'm gonna break it down for you guys. All these UFOs that you guys saw on television is bullshit. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's a disinformation campaign. We have extraterrestrials from the Galactic Federation. They signed a treaty with the military in 2017 at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and then again at Edwards Air Force Base, in exchange for technology, knowledge, and you know what I mean. Like, there's some factors that we as humans don't know. I mean, they've been working for us for some time. You think that we're gonna be reverse engineering stuff on the technology that we have? We have some tech. I will tell you that much. The government thinks that we can't handle this, and that's the part that pisses me off. I'm all about for the people. You know what I mean? I was once just a regular Joe Schmo without even having any visitations. I thought that we're adults, and I mean we're not children. I don't know why we wouldn't be able to have. You're gonna have your three factors. Your religious nuts, right? You're gonna have the doomsday preppers, and you're gonna have the people that are what's happening? You're gonna get shot by the kind of people, but they don't want to know because political dogma. First off, NASA. If you switch the letters around, it spells Satan. A lot of people just need to understand what to look for. Like if you, where no matter where you go, you see Freemason symbols, Illuminati symbols, but some people that are not really even paying attention is right in front of you. They talk about it. They talk about us. having draconian shape-shifting reptilians that are supposedly infiltrated our government long time ago. You know what I mean? We're not in charge, folks. I'm sorry to say, but they are. They are with the Rothschilds. They're with the Rockefellers. They're with the elite, Oprah Winfrey, and all these people. A lot of people that are entertainers and whatnot get subject into this shit at a very early age. You know what I mean? Illuminati drinks human blood from children. A lot of children are missing from Maui. I mean, how I how I work. I do patterns and numbers. 11 to 15. These kids that were taken from Maui were 11 to 15. You just follow the you just gotta follow the scent. You know what I mean? A lot of people are allowed to see things, feel things. There's a lot of people that are very gifted. That'll be me. The Galactic Federation came here looking for people that are highly gifted and highly sensitive. Not just me. There's a lot of people. We're called star seeds. So where do I begin? So the deal was with each other was I get to take pictures and videos of as much as I want, and they'll stop and pose for me in exchange to learn from me. For whatever reason, I'm not going to question. I'm just not going to question this. So that was the deal. I them trust me. No, I was visited by 6 different entities. One is called the Draconians. One is called the Orions, where the star system where they come from. The other is called I call it others. They're like interdimensional transmedium beams of light. They look like rainbow people with you. I call them the indigo children. Then you have the Andromedans. Andromedans, their ships were more anime, very, very bright, a lot of light. So it's like, look at me, here I am. You know, kind of stick out like a sore thumb. Um, the ones I really like talking about, but I run an honest program. They're called Watchers. A lot of them are fallen angels. I'm not gonna lie. I had one in my room when I had COVID.
And what are they called again? I'm sorry, you were
They're
kind of
called the
breaking up.
peacekeepers, but the Watchers. They're called the Watchers. They're in the Bible. They're the fallen angels. And what they told me was hard to swallow. They're here to punish the.
Uh-oh. Oh man, we just lost him. Let me message him really quick. Brandon, we lost you. Also, I wonder if he's plugged in. All right, there he is.
Yes, I should have warned you. Every time I do podcast, they shut me down because they know that I'm so close I could throw a rocket. Man. There's a lot
Right?
of people like pretending to be people on Facebook, but I'll say people. Oh, I'm an ambassador of the Federation. Show me your credentials. We'll have a meeting. Everybody that's ambassadors meet. No one had credentials like me. So a
Yeah, so
lot
you
of
were
people
talking
are
about
afraid of.
the Watchers being fallen angels and stuff.
Yeah,
And also, yeah, when
the
me and Chris
Watchers.
Garcia get together, there's a couple other people, things will just go crazy. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we're
So the
used to
Watchers
it.
are 9.5 feet tall. They're big. They're big. She was a beautiful, beautiful broad. Like she had sapphire eyes, like very blue eyes, almost blinding blue eyes. Like you could, it shimmered. And when I told her that, she asked me a few things. She said, "I'm going to ask you some questions first, and then you're going to ask. I know you have a bunch of questions to ask me." So I had like 5 different extra at night. It was like 1:30 in the morning. I was suffering from stage 1 cancer and I had COVID, so I was not doing so hot. But they told me in order for me to do what I need to do, I have to stop smoking cigarettes that day. They gave me medication. I've been cancer free for 5 years. You know what I mean? I don't smoke cigarettes. Looks good that you're smoking one or no, but you know, like I smoke some really, really good green. That's the only thing I'm allowed to smoke is good weed.
Yeah, I like to grow
But
my own because I don't trust what other people put in it. So I like to burn my own
oh
crops.
man, you have no idea. I have my cousin. My cousins from my island. They're in their 60s. They've been doing it for years. I got the one of the best weed. One hit, you're like done.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go to bed. I'll talk to you later. But the Federation consists of different hybrids, very highly gifted. In order to be in a Federation or to join ranks of the Federation, you need to be a hybrid, not a pure. The Galactic Council of Nine are pure. And Solar Warden and the Federation Alliance bumped head with each other, so they know each other very well. We've been under a mind control. We've been under a spell for so long, folks. We don't even know who we are, where we come from. I happen to be activated. Long story short, I got shot when I was 18. I bled out. I died. I was done. I was gone for like 20 minutes. I woke up on a metal slab. You know that blade that opens you up like a Y and stuff. Yeah, I woke up to that. The guy almost dropped the blade in his foot. So freaked out. Front, boo! He fucking jumped. So to come back from bleed, I lost 7.5 pints of blood. I got shot in the back of my spine, shoulder. So this is where the bullet went. Right here. This is the bullet. You can kind of see it right there. So I got shot with a 38 hollow tip. I was joining the Navy. I just scored a 96 on my ASVAB. I want to do something to get off this rock, do something. But you got that bucket of crabs that they want to just, you're at the top, ready to get out of the bucket, and the runs that pull you down. So I got shot on purpose just so I wouldn't be able to make something out of myself. One of my brother's friends his age. Um, I lost so much blood that they had to carry me. They had to throw me in a tub with and then add ice so I wouldn't go into shock. I lost weight. So when I came to, I was in a hospital that never knew where I was. I didn't even know where I was. I remember I was talking to some lady that was in the program that knew me. When she showed me a mirror of me, that's not me. You know what I mean? It was hard to swallow. When I died, somebody reincarnated went into me. I don't know if people can understand that, but shit happens. You know what I mean? The person that I used to be, that's not me no more. So
So did
I've
you
always been able.
sorry to
Go ahead.
interrupt, but did you have issues with that for a while as far as like knowing that's
Yeah,
not
I
you
didn't
and
know who I was. It was bizarre to look in a mirror and see somebody that I did not recognize. You know what I mean? My family was like, my mom came to get me, and my mom got rid of me at 11. So it's like I really didn't like my mom for all of that, but she came to get me, and I didn't recognize her. I said, I have no idea who this lady is. So yeah, I've been able to see things more than when I was. So I always had the gift of seeing things, but it just saw. I still had my memories of who I was, but the person that I'm in the body is not me. I don't know how to explain that, but I know for a fact that at 18 I did die. You know what I mean? The time I heard them say EAT estimation dead on arrival. They're about to put the tag on my toe, DOE and all of that, and somehow something told me you ain't done yet. Get up, and then that happened to just open my eyes. When I did, I would see things like I've never. I used to see things in the corner of my eyes. Now I'm seeing things like in front of me. Like I woke up in the hospital with this girl in front of my bed telling me that the Watchers are coming. I remember her seeing that, and then as fast as I seen her, she just vanished. So the Watchers, they can be good or they can be bad. I mean, I met one, and when I told them that the mayor and the governor wants them to leave, she showed me her true form. In order to fight the demons and Satan that run this realm, they need this. They need this. I guess their transformation or whatever. I got one picture of that I'll show you later once I get my 4Ds. Look, I'm punished from Facebook for going to the news, giving them my story, like I'm telling you now. And as soon as I was sending pictures, admin of Facebook says I'm not allowed to show pictures to people, and we're gonna ban you for 7 days. First of all, how is admin even able to even do that?
I
They
know
have
because
no
like
number to call Mark Zuckerberg's headquarters.
no, you can't. It's like are you sending this through Messenger or are you posting this to a page?
I was sending this from Facebook Messenger to the news. They really wanted somebody's. Yeah, I know. I guess not. But somebody was telling me that somebody from the news saw saw pictures on Facebook from a friend, and
Yeah,
they
that's
wanted
just
to meet with
ridiculous
me.
because that's your own private thing that has nothing to do with them or their
I
agenda and
understand
what's
that.
going on Facebook. Like that is, we're just getting worse and worse. Like even Ireland, who has never been subjugated to, the British realm or whatnot, um, now they're getting their rights infringed upon. Like it's just getting worse and worse, and it's just gonna
Well, we
get,
never had rights. It's
well,
just an
kinda,
optical
but
illusion.
yeah, yeah, the illusion of rights, like thinking we do have rights, but yeah, it's
The
getting really bad.
the Declaration of Independence has been changed so much times ever since these presidents. Somebody sent me something. It's the 2012 Christmas edition uh economy magazine, and it shows a whole displacement of hell. You got Mick Romney, you got Obama in a boat, you got this was written in 2012. It talk about Hamas attacking Israel. So you have two people on gliders. Do you remember when they had that peaceful protest in Israel where there was a concert and they all hang glidered in and fucking murdered just everyone? How did he? So Simpsons is doing this plus this 2012 magazine that I posted on my page actually. I thought it was very, very interesting that Hamas was even mentioned in there. You see, and they talk about if Jesus was to speak the word lightning and something from above, the translation spells Barack Obama. How's that shit? Like he's supposed. So they're giving us little hints that he's the Antichrist. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you what I gathered just
I
recently.
always I always thought it was
It's
George Bush
freaky.
Jr. with his strategery and stuff, but when that whole, fake 9/11 thing was going on, not saying 9/11 was fake, but the way he's like
No, but
reading
I'm
to the
saying it was
kids and they come in and tell him and he's like, "Oh, I'm so surprised." No, you're not. You knew what the fuck was going on this whole
right.
time. Like, don't give me that, dude. Like, you're in on this.
9/11 was staged when
Hmm.
George Bush's brother was head of security. What they did was they helped the building go down. They set C4 charges on the bottom. All the cameras are knocked off. Every single camera was not on. So you know what I mean. So it was like some shady shit. A lot of people lost
Well,
their
you could
lives. That's it.
even
All of this
like
was
see it
all of this
when it
was to
was
start.
happening. Boom, 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 like out the sides.
Right,
It looks different
right,
when it's
right,
like
right.
collapsing on
Exactly.
each other, but these are actually going off.
It was like playing Jenga,
Hmm.
but like at high speed. Everything was just like that was I thought it was some movie. When my friend woke me up to watch this on live television, I'm like, "Who's the actors?" My friend looks at me and goes, "Bro, this is live." You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you something right now. This is the honest to God truth, folks. The reason that happened is because they wanted a war. Simple. People have to lose their lives and have something very badly tragic to start a war. War costs money. That's why they did it.
Yeah, and we're our monetary value is no longer gold, and that's a big part of like all the gold disappeared probably to purchase rights or whatnot, to different things, but that's why we needed the war because now our monetary value is not conducive to gold, but to oil. That's our new monetary value. And we just got rid of
Bro,
all that thanks to Biden.
gluttony. In that picture I was telling you about the 2012, you got gluttony. You got some dude drinking oil from a big pan. and it said the seven sins, gluttony. One of them was the Madam Chancellor from Britain. Everybody thought that was Pelosi, but no. I looked at her hair. I was like, no, that's the Madam from the kind England. A lot of things. So I have been recently. We've been having F-22 Raptors fly over Hawaii, really, really low, super low, low enough where my neighbors are trying to like, whoa, what's going on, bro? And then when I went outside and opened my door, we have Ospreys really low to Honolulu. Then I get a
Mhm.
call from the United States Air Force. They know who I am because of I'm the only one that made contact in Hawaii. Why wouldn't they not know me? Mr. Vegas. I'm like, yes. We've been monitoring above your building for about 4 months now. We've been chasing anomalies that are accumulating over your new place. I'm like, really? New news to me? Because I mean, how I was treated, the things that happened to me, they took me to a psych ward, tied my hands above my head, and broke my rib cage, punched my eye 9 times until I couldn't see out of my right eye, broke my thumb, dislocated my arm, all to say that I didn't see these things that I was seeing. But my phone was an S21 Ultra. Can my phone be on drugs? So the only thing that saved me was two things. My friend was a staff member there I've known for 15 years. So he knows they see ghosts, right? Um, and then the staff members and the people, the woman that ran the hospital, because I was beaten up on her property. Yeah, I got a check for $5,000 the next day. They released me. I opened up my phone and let them see all my videos and my pictures. They were like, the next morning, all of them were like, "Oh, we knew we knew as a child these things exist. We couldn't be the only people in this whole universe." So it's all about making people aware of really what's going on. A lot of people they have low vibration conscious levels that they'll never see one, and I'm kind of sorry for people like that. I mean, you guys missing out. These things that I have. I mean, to have UFOs 550 feet above your head is the most intensest thing that you can ever experience. To learn from them, to communicate with them through telepathy is not for the faint of everyone. If you ain't ready, you can crack and end up in a mental hospital and lose your mind. So people who see these things have a very high frequency and very gifted. They choose people like us because we're not afraid. Number one, we're not afraid. Like when they ask me, how come in my introduction with them, they're like, how come you didn't run? I was like, I'm curious of where this is gonna go. She goes, most people would have run. We like that about you. You stood your grounds. You did everything that you could in these primitive ways to learn how to communicate with us. We could have easily just told you we could just do it this way. But they wanted to see how determined I was. You know what I mean? It was fascinating on their end because they told me that how determined you was. You would talk in sign language from A to Z. You know all those kind of A, B, C. I did everything. I asked them about the pyramids. They told me it's all harmonic frequencies is what made move the pyramids. You can't move something that big. You're out of your mind. You got to be like a Dalai Lama or somebody to do that, like Yoda.
Well,
But
even
they
Ed
explained to me that,
Leedskalnin, he left school very, very early. He was self-educated and he figured out the technology. Like that's how he was actually able to build
yeah.
the Coral Castle not once but twice by himself.
Oh crap! I heard about that coral. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're on the same kick. That's absolutely correct. And he did that. I think it was for his wife or something that passed away or something along that line. I remember reading that recently
Yeah, it was for a
about
girl
the
that
coral castle.
he was in love with and
There you go. Yeah,
um
that's it.
yeah.
That's fascinating. Someone tell you something right now. When they told me that they were above my building and they've been congregating for the past 4 months, because we've been hearing F-22 Raptors fly really low. I mean, so low that the building would shake. I didn't put two and together because 3 years is a long time. I was given 3 years to set up something with the military, show them what I got, let them know who they are, what star system they come from. Then I was approached by the Men in Black. You know, a lot of people freak out. Oh, the Men in Black. Now, I'll tell you something. The people who approached me were not human. They gave me documents in a language from a different star system because I'm a major in college. I majored language. I speak Japanese and Hawaiian. So they thought maybe by having that kind of skills, I might know a few things. And they threw some hints. I just didn't really pay attention at the time. So it was like this. The language. I hired one of my friends from Quebec, Canada, and we broke it down. We checked out Hittite, Babylonian, Sumerian. You know what I mean? Having autism, I like to cross my T's and dot my I's. You know what I mean? I went into the college mode. You know what I mean? When I was in school, it's like ping. It's like a light bulb came on. I was a professor with the glasses. So my friend, we came up with this. One day he sent me uh something side by side. It was Japanese and it was the language. And I speak Japanese, so I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I said, send me that symbol, blow it up, and put the symbols next to the language that is from whatever star system. Japanese people come from the Orion constellation because their eyes are different from ours. I told you I work with patterns and numbers. I'm very smart. I put two and two together. I'm like, oh, holy crap. But not even the Japanese people have an author of where they come from. China, Korea does, but Japan does not. So I spoke with somebody that is from Hawaii. He happens to be a private investigator, but he was a pastor in Japan years ago. When I told him that, his whole entire face came white, like because I think you just solved something that we've been trying to figure out the author of where we come from. So I need to contact Lockheed Martin in Japan and let them know that, this is something that I found out. A little gift for Japan because I like the Japanese custom. So when I went back and told the Men in Black that, is this language Zeta Reticuli? And they're like, how the hell did you know that? Because I'm smart. Because I took the time to break it down, look at different languages. It took about 3 days, 5 days. I learned a whole bunch of crap. These UFOs that we all been seeing. I'm sorry, but not to break you guys' bubbles or anything. Like, oh, we've seen UFOs on CNN live. No, it's a disinformation campaign. It's made by Raytheon and Lockheed Martin. These are not extraterrestrial. First of all, when I first seen it, I was like, you got to pay attention to detail. There's hardly any lights. It's all one shape, one mold. How the hell? So that leads me to this. That's why there's extraterrestrials here on planet Earth working with the military, or they wouldn't have stuff like this. They wouldn't even know where to begin. We only have, okay, so okay, for example, when Roswell crashed, we had the technology of that, and we had the technology of we had. It didn't match. So another 10 years, they put it away. 10 years, open it up. Now we come to the point where we're close. Not quite there yet, but we're getting closer to the things that they found on Roswell, such as nano wiring, what's that? Fiber optic nano wiring for lights. That's what the UFOs use. You know the chest piece from Iron Man's little arc reactor in his chest? UFOs all have arc reactors. In order for a UFO to do what it does, it needs an arc reactor. It needs to have anti-gravity. So Tesla, he had a lot of things that was taken. Check this out. You know who ended up with Tesla's gear? Trump's uncle. Wait. He found something. He went back in time and he showed the pamphlet, and he was filthy rich. He wasn't rich when he found. So remember the book from Back to the Future, the Almanac book that Biff had? Something like that. I gotta tell you something right now. If it wasn't for that, I don't think Trump would be the person that he is today. Trump's uncle owned half of Tesla's shit. I just found that out recently. I was like, oh, and guess what the book was about? Time traveling. Fuck. You have seen. You can't. you can't make shit up like that. You just can't. Oh, when I heard
Yeah,
that,
it
I
was.
had my hair stood up. I don't got hair.
I
So
don't
that
have
was
any more
like
hair. But yeah, it was crazy.
that
Like when
was
he passed,
that was
he
a
had all those
mind.
trunks of information
Yes, all those
and
strong. Yeah,
layouts and everything. And then by the time they got there, supposedly like there was only like is it four left out of like 80 something or 90 something. I don't know. So I'm pretty sure like not only Trump's relatives, but other people had their fingers in there. But it's just sad because they don't use it like a lot of this stuff that he created was used for the betterment of man, like the free electricity and all this other stuff,
right.
but they don't want that because they
So that's
bow down
so when
to
it
the
came
almighty dollar.
when it came to Hawaii, they offered three things to the state of Hawaii: free clean energy, technology, and med beds. Because a lot of people that are on my island are suffering from COVID or whatever ailments. These med beds can heal you within hours. You'll and just like you never was sick to begin with. Let me tell you something. The government rather us pay for that shit. I'll tell you something that was really bothers me is we're we're in a simulation. We're in a simulator. This is not real. A lot of people are sleeping under mind control. The draconians have these devices, right? They're part of the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and whatnot. They've been working with the Illuminati and the government for so many years. A lot of people got sacrificed on when we had the eclipse. A lot of children got sacrificed that night. I know for a fact because I have this gift that they gave me. One of them was they touched my third eye with their finger, and I had a mean headache for 24 hours. Ever since then, I've been able to see things. I want to tell you something that's going to freak you guys out, but I tell you, this is going to be one of a good podcasts for you because you can learn stuff. In Antarctica, I've got top secret pictures of all of that. You have to sign a waiver. If you speak the word of God or anything along the line of the Bible, they'll rip you in half and eat you. They found something they should have never thought out. We want to play God, and that's going to be our downfall, folks. When what's his name? Buzz Aldrin. I call him Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Aldrin went with a SEAL Team 6 to go to this place and check it out. And they found giants in cryostasis chambers. Some of the pods were open and they were greeted by the Nephilim, if you will. This is for real deal. A lot of my friends that I work with on Facebook are very gifted. They've been telling me whispers of angels being positioned here on planet Earth as we speak because they know that the Nephilim have awoken. Those are their children. Sorry to say, but God said to the angels, this is what was told to me in my apartment. God said, it's time for us to come back. But in order for us to come back, we need to go back to earth and fix the fuck we did wrong. That means to punish the wicked and end all wars. That means nuclear capability on both sides. We ain't going to have that shit. Now I speak to you as an ambassador. A lot of things that are happening on planet Earth shouldn't be happening. A lot of these There's 144,000 ships from the Galactic Federation ready to assist humanity. But in order for that to happen, I need to get some kind of a military package going with the military of my island. Me being ambassador, I can't speak for other people. I can only speak for me. I mean, I'm all about trying something different that we've never done before. World peace. Something that has never happened. We're divided on both sides. A lot of people don't speak like me or don't even give a shit. But I'm gonna tell you something else. For me, it is it means everything to me. The fact that Hawaii was visited, we are a sovereign nation run by kings and queens. King Kamehameha conquered all islands. You know what I'm saying? So we're monarch. We have very old and diverse. The Lemurian culture come from Hawaii. The Atlanteans and the Lemurians fought in the South Pacific. Both of them. So all of these entities that we talk about, they all have the Anunnaki DNA bloodline in them. So the Lemurians they retreated to underneath the lava tubes of the Big Island where the volcano is. And this is written history now that this happened. So a lot of people are talking about. Okay, remember I was telling you I took a ride above and I said it's not flat, it's not round, it curves because how the rainbow, but a double rainbow it only tells you the refracts light from the ceiling. We You ever saw the episode of Simpsons where the dome is over us?
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. It's exactly what it is. We're like a snow globe. You cannot break the firmament. It's called Project Looking Glass. The only one that can break that would be the Angels of the Galactic Federation and Solar Warden. If they really want to, they have the technology to do it. They just don't want to say they do. Government, they like to lie.
Wasn't that
That's
Project Fishbowl where they sent nukes up to try to
yeah.
break through the firmament?
There's a midget that wears a helmet that like a fishbowl with a yeah. No, but he's got fishes inside his tank and he's got a tube in his mouth. They call Project Fishbowl. So a lot of my friends, because they know I work for C5 and stuff. So a lot of them like to tease about projects. But I know Project Alice, Project Looking Glass, is there's a reason why we can't break to the firmament because it talks about it in the Bible. And I'm not really religious, but I've been paying attention to about the firmament and how he said that he would never ever make the planet Earth flood again. But there's ocean above our sky. That's the part that's like you need to be on acid to understand that shit. He said it will never ever flood the Earth again. But what's above the firmament? So above, shall no, above, so below. How does it say? Shall above, so below. Yeah, that's exactly what that means. That means there's another ocean above us. Remember one episode in Simpsons where they hit the baseball and the thing cracks the firmament and the water
Mhm.
just pours in? I'm telling you, the Simpsons, either the Simpsons has somebody that is a time traveler or they have an algorithm machine that predicts this shit. Because this has never happened before. How many episodes of The Simpsons have predicted things? You know any other show
There's
that
been
does
a
that?
ton. There's been a ton, and the writers try to say, "Oh, that was just coincidence or accidental."
Yeah,
But
no.
I'm gonna say about I don't know, maybe 75 to 80% of what they've put out there has happened. There's some that people have looked out like within this past year that hasn't happened, luckily. But yeah, it's pretty freaky.
There's an alien race. This is a little freaky, you guys, but like I told you, it's gonna probably be one of your best podcasts for a while. There's an alien race that comes here every equinox of the moon and feeds on humans. A lot of the Galactic Federation ships require souls. Sorry to say, but like I told you, you're here to punish the wicked and end all wars. That means any wicked person on planet are doing things not for the people by the people. Bye. You guys are doing the wrong things you shouldn't be doing, and you guys are not about. See, here's the thing I'm going to tell you guys. We have baseball teams, football teams, people that are billion rich from Dubai and all this. If everybody chipped in to help this planet, the planet would be in so much not disarray like it is. We're waiting for something for at least for humanity to wake up and raise their vibrational conscious and help the next person out without asking for anything in return. That's doing business. You don't get to ascend with that shit. Sorry, but I learned that really early.
Well, and it's sad
Don't it
because, like, we're lower level. Some people might say mid, but there's people out there that have been out there forever. The Rothschilds and all these other people, that their families have controlled the agenda for so long. And I don't know. I think if we just work together in numbers, like we really outnumber them. And right now they're really trying to, take away free speech and all this other stuff. And make us feel like we don't have any power. But if we just stop, you know, uh, applying ourselves or going along with the agenda, we really could actually, like you
right.
said, change the world
I'll give you for
instead of being under
example.
their thumbs.
Imagine us just not going to work one day. You know what I mean? You just buy what you need for your family, and you make sure you get enough gas for your Coila. Coila means car and oil, and at least you get enough some lubrication in your car for go where you need to go, and you spend a very little bit of. What do you think is going to happen to the economy in 5 months, 3 to 5 months? I'm gonna tell you something right now. The reason why they made COVID was to depopulate the planet Earth. That is the only reason they did that. We have way too much people in just alone China and India. There's so much people that are homeless that have 15 people to one house. I mean, they'll kill just for one of those positions to be able to sleep and have a roof over their head.
Hmm.
A lot of people take that. A lot of the rich people take that for granted. You know what I mean, a lot of people are suffering on this planet. Hawaii, I won't. 20 minutes down the road, you get people walking like zombies. There's a new drug going around. Like
Hmm.
there's also something installed with the military for a zombie breakout. They literally mentioned this on TikTok. I'm like, what? But hey, we can manifest the what's his name? That tall entity looking freak that's dressed like Men in Black. What was his name?
Oh, I can't remember his
Uh,
name, but I know who you're talking about that was in the White House for a
yeah,
while.
that I can tell you something. That's what the hell is a Slender Man? That person that was in the White House that had a pointy nose that looked like from another planet. His ears were off, his nose was off, and his eyes kept on bugging out. There are people at the United States Congressional UFO hearing that are not human. That I picked up on that really quick. I'm like that dude looks like from Boss from Empire Strikes Back when Vader sent all of them looking for Juan. So that's exactly what the reptilians look like. Look like Boss. They live 200 feet underneath our Earth. Um, I know the Vatican. Everybody's born. They have to put their stamp of their hand and their foot. They prick your foot, right, and they get the blood sample of who you are. Then they give all of this to the Vatican because it's our death contract or our soul contract. That is some freaky shit. You know what I mean? I've learned quite a
Yeah,
bit.
I was hearing about that the other day when I was doing dishes or
Ah,
making no bake cookies, and they're saying when you die, it's just your contract number or whatever that they put out there. I don't know. It was like a lot of stuff. I'm like, what? Like I'm trying to pay attention to measurements, and you're throwing me off over here, but it makes a lot of sense.
yeah, like there it. When I heard that, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? They want kids. A lot of people are born with different type of blood. Like mine is RH. Don't ask me. I
Mhm.
remember I told you I'm not who I used to be. They had to put blood back into me. When I bled out, I lost 7.5. A human carries 9 pints. That's it. That's what you got. So I was like paler than white with my hair stood up. I was basically came back from the dead, but they had to give me a blood transfusion, and the blood that they put in was not normal blood.
So when they did the
I,
blood transfusion, like your blood type changed?
I became because I came back from the dead. They wanted because I told you I was an experiment. A lot of us that was in the program, 7 of us in the program, were hyperactive, handicapped, blah blah blah. So they used us because we're just like the nobodies. You know what I mean? But when he added his blood into me, it's like I became, I don't know, super soldier, if you will. The MK Ultra is super soldiers. You know what I mean? We used to play games almost like the Hunger Games, if you will, like back then. And we wouldn't to the point where we'd kill people, but we would hurt them bad. You know, if they would try to hurt you, you would have to hurt them, kind of deal, like bust their
Mhm.
kneecap, hit them in the head too hard. You know what I mean? We were kids, so I remember lunchtime we would after lunch we would fire handguns and throw knives into freaking dartboards and stuff like that. I could be speaking to you and throw like 3 bullseyes as I'm talking to you. I got something with people with autism. It's like plus the medication that they was giving us. They gave us a shot in our arm when they would have us remote view for them. They'd give us zeros and ones, and we would sit down with the headphones and They would say something first to us, and then we'd go to it. And we were drawing like missile silos and bunkers and things of that nature. I thought it was a cool game. Yeah, as a kid, you know what I mean. And I really didn't have much interaction with people in the program. You have everybody's assigned to their own room. The only time we would
Yeah,
see
and they
each
don't
other is
really
when we
want you
eat.
talking. Shh, no talking.
No,
Yeah.
right. Like we would eat together, and then a lot of people would swap stories for like different
Hey,
or
they don't
cookies
want
or
no
pudding.
scuttlebutt.
Right. Well, I learned a lot from being in a program. Like when I watched the movie Black Widow with Scarlett Johansson when she had her spin off of Avengers, kind of like that. That's kind of how my life was. You know what I mean?
I
We
have to
fought.
watch that.
We got to learn how
I haven't
we
watched
got
that
to learn
one
how to
yet.
fire handguns, throw ninja stars, I mean, just any kind of weapon that you could think of, like MacGyver, the show MacGyver back in the day.
Mhm.
That was me. I used to use keys. Remember one time, these two guys were following me, and I didn't have anything on me, so I put keys in between my two keys in between my fists, and I got them. I got them pretty good, actually. One guy
Yeah, that's a
caught
good
him and
secret.
dug
I
in the
used to use
grave.
that when I'd go to my car at night,
Yep,
being a female by myself, put your
exactly.
keys in your fist, and if somebody fucks with you before you get to your car, just jab their eyeballs
Mm.
out or wherever you can hit them. Um,
So
yeah.
because I was having all this UFO contact. A lot of my military friends gave me an MK18 couple clips. This is a modified AR-15. I got a 9 millimeter. I've got an apocalypse shovel. I got blades, throwing knives. Here's my favorite throwing knife. This bad boy I've had for 4 years. How sharp that is.
Hmm.
I've had that for 4 years. I kept it like very close to me for 4 years. And I remember being attacked one night, and that's the only thing that I had on me. I caught some guy in like lower leg, and he bled out pretty bad. But in Hawaii, when you're on the streets, you gotta learn how to. You have to grow up really quick. You have to learn how to survive. You have to learn the difference between friend and foe. A lot
Yeah.
of people are gonna eat you up and spit you out if you ain't ready. So I grew up really quick in the streets of Honolulu. I'm 51 years old. The best secret is let people live their life. Don't fuck with people. Don't get in.
Yeah, don't be
Don't.
judging. Let people live their life the way they want to. Love your
That's how you
neighbor.
end up.
And we got
That's
to
how you
help
end
each
up
other out
51.
because we're in a hard place right now. And if we don't help each other out, there's no hope.
I'll agree with that. Like the Galactic Federation, they're already here. But the thing is, March 15th, 2024 is contact day. Hope you guys noticed that the Octurians and the Palladians are coming. They have they have some informations of things that they need to rectify on planet Earth.
Well, I
A lot
hate
of
to
like
interrupt because, like,
different.
we're at a really big
No
point
worries,
of
no worries.
information at this time, but we do, unfortunately, have to go to our first music break. So, nope, we have 2 more hours to go. We just have a little 15-minute break and then we'll be back. So, on this break, we have Gravity from Krakow, Poland with Throw You Away, as well as Take a Walk in My Shoes. Then we have Mr. Jeff Hilliard from Los Angeles, California with Abandon. I love it. I love Jeff Hilliard. I love his sense of humor. Really gets me through sometimes. And then we got Fred Johnson III from Canyon County, California with Sugar. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
down the street, thinking all the things you said you need. Why don't you tell me, baby, how do you feel? As I walk down the street, thinking all the things you said you need. Why don't you tell me, baby, how do you feel? Don't you take a walk? Why don't you take a walk? In my shoes, why don't you take a walk? Before you tell me what to do, why don't you take a walk? Why don't you take a walk? In my shoes, why don't you take a walk? Before you tell me what to do. No, it's easy, you tell me what to do. Have you ever stopped to think all the things that I've been through? No, it's easy, you tell me what to do. Have you ever stopped to think all the things that I've been through? Why don't you take a walk? Why don't you take a walk? In my shoes, why don't you, baby, take a walk? Before you tell me what to do, why don't you take a walk? Why don't you take a walk? In my shoes, why don't you, baby, take a walk? Before you tell me what to do. Where did our love go wrong, my Sergei?
Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us tonight on We Are Paradox Media's Late Night in the Rockies. That was our music break. Now we're back with our very special guest, Mr. Brandon Vegas, to tell us about all his experiences and the things that he's learned while on his first and second time during this lifetime. Who knows how many lifetimes before that he's had, but welcome back, Brandon, and thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Hey. So one thing I've been having a problem with is the military of my island. 3 years ago, this happened. So it happened in 2020 during COVID. So already people are freaked out with COVID. To you know what I mean? You know, imagine police officers arriving to your building and asking, acting all tough and asking, "Oh, what are you using? What are you doing using lasers?" And then, so I'm like, "Hey, I know the rules. I know about helicopters. And I know about planes. Because trust me, I like lasers, so I know the rules. So if I hear something, I'm gonna automatically have a button in my pocket. I can turn off the light like that." Okay. So I said, "But since you guys are here, I kind of want to ask you guys a few something." I said, "Yeah, look above you and tell me what you see." Um, they weren't ready for that. They just weren't ready for that. A lot of people were. One, yeah, the youngest guy's like, "They do exist," like the M&Ms and Santa Claus. Like, they do exist.
Yeah.
He was really, really cool. His attitude was like, "Oh, I knew there." He was like a kid in the candy store. His eyes was twinkling. And the older cops are like, "Dude, you can't get caught up in this shit." So I told him, I said, "So," he goes, "You know what, my brother? I'm gonna tell you straight off, Vegas. This is below our pay grade. We have no fucking bro. We have no idea what to do. This has never happened before." FBI, Homeland Security. So like they showed up, we spoke, and then they went about their business. 3 days later, I get a call from the security guard booth, Vegas, yeah, front and center. I look out my window. I lived on the 41st floor, so I'm looking out my window. Oh, there's so much people in black suits. I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I'm still gonna get arrested." So I brought my weed pipe down, thinking this human toss the pipe in the bushes, get handcuffed. At least I'll be stoned. And I'll be honest, I was really nervous to go downstairs. I mean, that was a lot of people in black suits. So I went downstairs and my weed pipe. I almost cried. Like I came around the corner. I was like, "Hello, can I help you? Are you Vegas?" I'm like, "Yeah." I go, "Am I going to jail?" Am I going to jail? And I was a little freaked out. I don't really trust people. That's the reason why. But I told
Well,
them, they said, "No,
I
Vegas,
with the
you're not going
military
to get
too, like
arrested." But
I never wanted to be a part of the military, totally against war, totally against everything else going on. Can you hear me?
yeah,
Okay, good. But yeah, due to a circumstance in my life, I did join the military because I felt like that was my only way out. So I joined the Marine Corps. And yes, I didn't trust the government before then, but now I really, really don't because you learn more about it when you become a part of it. And
right.
I know the protocol and all that stuff. And even if they did witness something, they're told to not put it in the report. Don't ever put that stuff in the report because
Uh, that makes
then you're going
sense.
to be a
It just
target unless, like you said, if it's part of the Space Force, which existed before even Trump said, "I'm going to make this exist." I'm sure they have all these records. Project Bluebeam was a part of that and everything, but it's just
right.
insane.
It's information campaign. So you know what? Actually, I'm going to tell you something. The reason why they want to do this is they already know that we've made contact with them.
Mhm.
SETI. So these are the people that I tried calling. Check this out. Let's go down the list of people I fucked with, just to fuck with, because there's so people in the mainland are not. I don't want to be mean and come off like a punk, so I'm gonna say a lot of people are just not educated to people from Hawaii. Is that a good way of putting it without roughing anybody's feathers? we're from an island. You guys are from a big giant continent. You guys can go from one state to another. Ours is a 4-hour tour like Gilligan's Island, bro. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and then
So
some people
it's a
freak out
little
just leaving the mainland. They don't want to go on an island or a ship. Like they get this weird sort of phobia. But yeah, us mainlanders, we're weird. Hey, in my
not
heritage,
all.
I did
I've
originate
met
from an
some.
island, from Ireland, part of me. But yeah, I admire Hawaii. I want to go there someday. I think it's so
Interesting.
beautiful. But
Do you guys go to the big Lordy? Okay, what? I'm gonna just talk about that. Stop.
you're breaking
Bradley
up. You're
Powers
breaking up.
and
Come back to us. No, go back to what you were saying right after I was talking because it'll do break. No.
Bradley Powers was a person that I worked for on Facebook. He ran a lot of Facebook forums and whatnot. He came off like a really cool guy, but people kind of told me he's not what you think. But I never judge nobody, so I just they met with me in a Zoom call. They wanted me to be a moderator because of the things. But what happened was a lot of people were coming to me and not him, and so he was like a little, oh, that's how I want to be. I'm the star of the show, not Vegas. So straightforward. The people from Mark Zuckerberg's headquarters had called them and set up a meeting through a Zoom call, and they said they need to get rid of me immediately from their group because I know way too much. There's a lot. See, that's the difference between people and people who are real, so real that it's spooky. That'd be me. I mean, I have no pleasure in fucking talking shit to people just to talk shit. That's just not my cup of tea. I wasn't born. We're from the 70s. We will talk to that. My mom would get rid of us at 6:30 at night, bro. All the way to freaking 6:30 in the morning to 6:30 at night. There used to be something that would flash on the television for humans, the mothers and fathers. Where are your children? Come in, where the fuck? I remember
Do you
listening to
know
this
where
one
the
time on
children
television.
are?
Right, it's exactly. So my mom didn't like me because my dad hung out with her and then she was not into it. We're not even really seeing eye to eye. He forced himself on her. I was born. So my mom was out of my older brother and then my younger sister. I caught cracks. I'm
I see
tougher
that.
than
I
most
can
people
see
think,
that. And
bro.
I've heard stories like that from people that I know. And it's very sad because it's not your fault. You're not the one that did it. And you are a part of her.
Yeah,
But
but
I know some people have that to
she would be
where
like, "You look just like your father." That is a fucking invitation to put your boots on, your shoes on, and run like the wind because you're about to catch honks. And I used to go to school with black guys at 5 years old. I remember, okay, this is the hardest thing I had to do it. You like talk about embarrassed, like show your ass, that kind of embarrassment. I remember in high school, my mom at 15, my mom gave me a suitcase and $20, and she had a straight razor. She said, if you pass this line and try to come back home, I'll cut you and throw you in the water. So our water was conjuncted with the ocean. So we would have every now and then we would have hammerheads come swim to where I was. So I was like pleading with my mom, like, what do you mean? Like I'm 15, I have no job, or you know what I mean? Wet behind the ears still. Like I just came out of a program for MK Ultra for 4 years. I like live now. I didn't get that privilege, bro. I was on the streets of Honolulu at 15 years old during monsoon season, sleeping underneath cars in a cardboard box, thinking, how the fuck did my life just went from that to this? You know what I mean? But I've done my trials and tribulations, and I've seen ghosts along the way. I went to college 7 years ago, I believe, and I went to Winter Community College, where the area where I went to was known for many Huni and night marchers. These are legends that we were told as kids. The many Hoonies were like leprechauns, if you will. They would turn to stone during the day and come out at night. They would build canoes, riverways, fish ponds, you name it. The night marchers were the royal guards of King Kamehameha. They were 7 feet tall, six toes, six fingers. Their head looked like a light bulb. That's the best way to describe what they look like. They were extraterrestrial in nature, but you would see their torches, but what you would actually be seeing is them. Their head of the so they had this type of helmet that had see-through eyes and feathers on the top. And these are like Hawaiians back then were 7 feet tall, not kind of scrawny, big bastards. They'd pick you up by your neck with their bare hands and break your neck. So the Hawaiian martial arts is called lua limo, and that is the art of breaking bones. So the Hawaiians would compete with each other through makahiki. Little history. Captain Cook came from England and arrived on the shores of the Big Island, Kealakekua Bay. And we thought he was some kind of a god because of the boats and how the sails came down, the masts and everything. So that was part of our tradition. We seen that as considered Lono, Akua, which is like the highest of chiefs of gods. So we treated him like that. Women, food, a feast. And a lot of people were very interested in from wigs and powdered face, and they thought they were gods. We didn't know any better. Just like the American Indians, like the African Americans, all our land was taken from under our noses. So evil. So he stayed in long enough where Makahiki was when he came was time of coup, which is of war, and he happens to be a god, right? So we pleased to him. We took care of him. Now it's time for him to leave because Makahiki season, where we compete for each island. We do games. We Ulumaika is a type of like two sticks with a rock. You got to throw the rock in between the two sticks. And primitive crap, but that's kind of games that we would play. So when I was on campus, we we used to play games on campus. So I would go in the back of this. My teacher would send me underneath the most sacredest area called Papahana, and I'd pull ferns from this one cut out in the mountain, not knowing that was considered a heiau, which is very, very, very sacred Hawaiian home that houses the dead, food, provisions, and it was a co-ed heiau that's next to the mountain. Didn't know that that was even happening. So I would come home and my dishes would fly up and hit the ceiling, and my cabinets were opening and closing. So my cats were freaked out. So I told my teachers, like, I'm having a problem. And then she's like, wait, I was saying, she's like doing something, and she stopped dead in her tracks. She looked at me, she goes, where are you pulling these ferns from? And I got it from her. But I had to go back and bring raw fish, bananas, and pork wrapped in a tea leaf. And I had to go back there and tell them "Kalamai'o," which means I'm very sorry. I didn't know any better. Had I knew that, I would have not pulled the ferns from on hill because I have respect for the tradition of Hawaiian people. That's where I grew up. That's where I'm from. It's my roots. So when I went back there, I was greeted by what you would call manihuni. They look like elements of the forest. They just came out of nowhere. They have no T-shirt, something that covers their front, and it's called a mala. And their eyes are a little different from ours, and they spoke a different language. But when they addressed me, they told me straight up, yeah, don't come back here no more. This is your last and final time. You come back here, we're going to take you and your soul. I was like, these people ain't fucking around. So I was like, again, Kalamai'o, Aoli Kapu, which means very forbidden to even be back here. They said, because you came here with an offering such as this, we'll allow you to take one last fern. But you cannot ever show your face here again. You understand me? You're not even Hawaiian. So we're really on that note, we're going against our traditions and our rules. So because you brought us something, it shows us that you have respect and kindness for us. You didn't know any better, now you know. So don't ever come back here again. These are people that no one's seen within 100 years, and they're telling me never come back here again. So I was like, I hear I never, and I've never went back there ever since, ever. You know what I mean? To see something like that, we talk about in our history in our classes at Winward, but to actually see one,
I'm telling you
shivers
what,
on my
like
teachers. I told.
I've s- I've seen so many things from the age of being a kid till today, and it ranges from, well, I always believed in the paranormal because I had experienced ghosts since before I can even remember. I used to play at the foot of a ghost when I was a baby. But all throughout my life, I've seen different spirits. I've seen I used to call them kobolds because a friend of mine said that's what they were called, but they look like gremlins, not mogwai, but gremlins. And then I actually met the devil. Um, I didn't see a UFO. I always believed because my dad and I would sit there and watch Star Trek. My dad really believed in UFOs. I'd never seen or experienced one, so I didn't really believe. And then in 2012, when I was pregnant with my son, a UFO followed us, and it was one of those orange orbs you're talking about. And it was about probably 50 to
Mhm.
75 feet in the sky. And it followed my car all the way from the reservation all the way to home. And then I didn't see it again for about 3 or 4 months. And then it was going along my fence. And then throughout the years, I've seen other different ones. This house I live in, like, it came with a ghost. But due to the fact that I'm gifted and my
Oh,
children are gifted, and even my husband, like, more ghosts come in all the time, just like looking for help. And my son was born with 6 fingers on his right hand. He still has those 6 fingers because
oh
to me he's
shit.
perfect, and I wouldn't change him for the world. And the doctors were pushing for, you need to get that removed, but to me he's perfect, and I wouldn't change him, and
They
that's not
wanted
my
him. They
decision.
wanted it to move
And if
because
if
that represents Nephilim.
Yeah, and there's so many kids born with it. Like, I thought it was super rare. So many kids are born with it, but they're like, nope, immediately you need to chop it off because society won't accept it. Guess what? Everybody loves him. He's like one of the best, like, kind-hearted kids. He's very sensitive. People love him.
Autistic?
And he gets bullied, but not for his finger. He gets bullied for other stuff, you know?
Is he autistic?
No.
So why is he being bullied then? I can't
Because
I
kids are
do not
mean,
stand for
just
bullies
like,
for shit.
yeah, me neither. And here in Bayfield, it's really bad. Like, people said bullying has been a problem since like the early 80s or whatever, and the faculty won't do anything about it. 2 of my kids so far have quit school due to it. I have 2 more kids that I'm not going to allow that to happen again. But yeah, kids are just mean.
That's just sad.
Kids are very honest and they can say what they think, but at the same time, kids are really, really mean. And sometimes they
Of
don't
course they
think
are.
about what they say.
You should see the things that they say to me on my Facebook pages and whatnot. They call me a fucking retard, a stupid fuck. I mean, dumb. Just words that are very derogatory to a woman. I don't like saying. It makes me uncomfortable sometimes. You know, I was raised Puerto Rican, very. My grandmother. You don't disrespect a woman. I don't even care if she's wrong. You're
Mhm.
still wrong. You know what I mean? Oh,
I
sorry,
have a
babe.
Puerto Rican sister named Helen, and she's super cool. Mom was super cool. Some of the coolest people I ever met. And why are you going to put them
Don't
down
piss
for
them
that?
off.
And when you said, like, you're from Hawaii, but you're not Hawaiian, like, not even a small
No,
part of you is Hawaiian. So, do
no,
you have a military dad and a mom that was Puerto Rican, or?
no. So my mom is the Puerto Rican. My dad was 6'4", blue green eyes. He was from Missouri. Never met him.
Misery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't even know. But then, as I got older, I found out that he had to register every where he lived and whatnot because he was one of those people like to touch young girls. And
Oh,
when I heard
no.
that, it made me stick to myself. I hate people like that. So do you even know that is doing something like that at his age? This was years back. I don't even think he's alive anymore. But it made me sick to my stomach thinking that I was raised to fucking hurt fucking people like that. You know what I mean? Don't
Hmm.
ever touch a kid in front of me. I will break your fingers and ah. Yeah, I have a very, very because at my age, my mom had male friends that tried doing stupid shit to me, and I
And that makes me
stabbed
wonder,
them with a fucking.
too. if your
Or
dad does have that dispensation, was your mom really young when he did what he did to her?
I don't
Here,
know.
I'll join you. Safety meeting.
Absolutely. Oh, what flavor do you have?
Mine, I like to call it Tropic Thunder because it's half
Ooh,
Island
yeah.
Tour and half something else. But to me, the combination was Tropic Thunder, not only because that was my favorite movie at the time, but it just made sense. It's like Island Tour with something else. So it was an indica and a sativa mix. I don't know. It's really good. Been around for
I tried to
years.
go off camera so you wouldn't see what I was actually doing, but I didn't realize you burned
Hey,
through.
no, I do.
I've
I
been
told you I
burning.
burned through my own
I've been
crops.
burning because what I've been through and living on the island. I was burning at 9 years old. My cousins and stuff would always throw, here, put this under your blanket, and you never seen this, and I was like, ooh. So I had it at my disposal. So at 9 years old, I was burning already. I didn't know how to roll a joint until like as I got really really older. I just couldn't do it, and then I
You know
learned, and
what?
then
Before I joined the military, like I had rolled some joints and stuff and finally got good at it. And then I joined the military, so I didn't roll for a while. And then when I came back home, I tried to, and they were always pregnant. I was like,
but you just
I'm
you
just
just
gonna
take
use a
so
bowl.
what you do from that when it's pregnant in the middle. You take a piece of paper and put it in the paper and then roll it, and it'll just come out like to how you really want it. That's how, because
Yeah,
I
I
couldn't. I did the same thing. I'm like, but you have to try, and you have to get your own technique of how to do it. Like I knew a guy that could do one hand everything. I was like, I can't
That's
do
my
that. Like I used
brother.
to get
And he used to
angry.
tell my dad, he's like, yo, dad, I think rolling's in my genes, man. And dad's like, you're such a dumbass. But no, my mom, she partook of pot. My dad couldn't because it gave him anxiety. So it is in
I
our
know a lot of
genes.
people that get anxiety. For me, because I have autism, it makes me more okay. So there's a
Kind
couple
of
things that I'm
focuses
going to
you
tell you.
or,
So I channel. Right? So I have two things. It's like a form of remote viewing. When I go to sleep, I call it dreamscape. So when I go
hmm
to sleep, I download information. I don't know. I tell you, being around extraterrestrials, you just end up developing. Oh shit! That's the best way to describe it. They touched my middle of my forehead. I've been able to see, the UFOs that they supposedly they say they have. They do have, and it's in the hangar, and it's shaped like Halo's one of the bad guys' shields or something. And all the ships that they have, there's one ship that looks like a Jello mode, and the other one is the one that Bob Lazar worked on. It was called the sports model. But each ship has a distinctive frequency and distinctive signature that the ships give off. Some ships use. So I'm doing it now. So there's some panels that I see on the spacecraft, right? You put your hands on top of that, and on the prints that's on the ship, so you match your fingers, and it powers the ship. So a while back, they confiscated a ship that had these hand things that I'm talking about, and they
Mhm.
would link automatically to your brain, kind of like telepathy, if you will, and your mind would power the ships. So, but not all ships are the same. There's some ships that are not like not like that. Like the Andromedan ships are more anime. It was very like watching Robotech or Transformers, and but not in like robot form.
Stargate is like that because I don't really watch it, but my husband like binge watches it and he just found Stargate Atlantis, so
Oh
he
hell
started
yeah!
that one. And
You can tell your
there
husband
was a
that they.
ship like that, and one of the guys that was in there, like something happened to him where he got amnesia, and he was like one of the pilots of the ship, and he's like, I don't think I can fly this ship. And the guy's like, don't worry about it, just put your hands in there and it'll happen because you do know how to fly this ship,
That's
and it's
right.
actually
I
in your
remember watching
DNA.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna tell you, for example, these movies tell truth to what's going on planet Earth. Now
Mm-hmm.
let's get back to textbook. Okay, so the movie V, the Final Battle in the '80s. They came to our planet. They were called the visitors. They said they were here for peace. but they were acquiring all of our resources, plus hosting us as food for them. They were reptilians. Do you remember that movie? Okay, the next movie is called
Okay, so I don't know if what was it called again? The War of the Worlds. I know they
V.
were eating us.
Say that again.
The movie, I believe it was War of the Worlds or whatever. John Travolta was like the main alien guy. Maybe I have the name wrong. But also in
Not
Twilight
John
Zone.
Travolta. Keanu Reeves.
Okay, so it's a totally different movie
That
because
was
John
War of
Travolta
the
was
shit. What was
the
the name of the movie?
main. Uh, Matrix was Keanu Reeves. And pretty sure he's been in like so many different
No,
ones,
but
like Japanese
he
ones
was
and
in a
stuff.
space movie where he was
Oh,
extraterrestrial. Remember?
oh, I
And then
think
they had a
yeah, and
choice
it
where the
was him
planet
and
was going to
a
get destroyed.
and it was him and a
The
girl on the
girl,
ship, and the girl didn't know him, and so she was afraid of him, and she kept trying to run and
right?
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
I just watched it recently.
it was really
But
good,
here's another movie.
really
They
good.
Live.
Mm-hmm. I
Roddy
have to
Roddy
write that
Piper.
down.
They wear these black glasses that you would be able to see what the extraterrestrials look like and
Okay,
whatnot.
yeah, so you could walk around and see like that person's not really human,
Yeah,
that's a reptilian, or that
I'm gonna
one's.
fight the fight between him and the black guy. No, I'm not gonna put him on. So they beat the shit out of each other in the parking lot. Then he finally put the glasses on. You would see a sign that says Playboy. You put them on, it says obey. Like reproduce, have kids. We were slaves in that movie. But they mentioned the word BlackRock in the movie. I was like, you gotta really listen when you watch that movie. They talk
BlackRock
about
is
BlackRock.
huge and it's all over the place and it's controlling a lot of things.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. The Galactic Federation is world of all that shit. When they come here, there's 144,000 ships in orbit. See, a lot of the governments freaked out and scared because they know that they have a treaty with with the government.
Hmm.
In 2017, they signed a treaty. But check this out.
No, it's way
Biden's
before
been giving
that. Remember when I believe it was Eisenhower first signed the treaty.
no, okay. Revise. How about that? Yeah. So
It's a
Eisenhower, okay, you want to go back
re-advised
to this. So
treaty.
Eisenhower and no, Trump, no. Eisenhower and Truman. Truman knew more than Eisenhower. So eventually Eisenhower got sandbagged and they gave him
I think it
fucking
was
false
Truman.
information.
Because wasn't that the same
Okay,
time
so
that that guy
they're the
you were
ones
talking
that
about that
made,
was really tall that was in the White House was in?
yeah,
That's the
okay,
same
so
time they signed the treaty.
right. Okay. So what the story was that Eisenhower chipped his tooth, so he went AWOL for 7 hours to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base to look at UFOs. Right. So as he looked, the last UFOs had people that greeted him. We called Etherians. So Etherians, Earth, they're from fucking the ice walls. That's exactly from they're from Agartha. A lot of people didn't catch on to it back then. We didn't even know what Agartha was, but I told you I do patterns and numbers. It's how I kind of figure things out. So Admiral Byrd, back in the day, he was flying over. He saw a woolly mammoth walking in the snow. He got tractor beamed into on like or wherever you want to call it, and then people greeted him, and they were concerned about people that like us fucking shit up. That first of all, you know what just was told to me in my sleep, and then I find out it's actually real because I looked it up. That's how I find that if my information is bullshit or a fact check. So they said they made a new bomb that's bigger than Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Hmm.
See, look, you're nodding your head, and I'm kind of freaked out because I heard this in my sleep. So I learned information. I'll give you a good one. Monoatomic gold. One night I was stoned out of my mind. I woke up ringing very loud. Monoatomic gold. I was like, what the hell is that? So I started looking up. I started doing research. It goes like this. The Anunnaki came here mining for gold. So as humans saw this, they approached them and said, we give you trinkets, we give you gold, we want to worship you. So now we had them mine for the gold where we sat down and drank iced tea and watched, you know what I mean? The Galactic Federation back then was called the Ashtar Command. So There was a man that was in the White House for 3 years that claimed he was from this particular race as an ambassador, as an asset, whatever you call him. His name was Valentin Thor. Stayed at the White House for 3 years. He had a suit that was impenetrable.
Wasn't it Valiant?
Electric
Valiant Thor?
Valentin, yeah, Valentin Thor. Maybe I said the name wrong, but yeah, he stuck around for 3 years and finally said, "Fuck, you guys are just not getting it. Bye,"
Mhm.
and he went back home. It's simple as that. So the people who hired me, they call themselves Majestic 12. But, I was C5 Special Intelligence for Close Encounters long before I met these people. They call themselves the Men in Black. Some of them are extraterrestrials, some of them are human. But because I'm from Hawaii and I don't dress in suits and stuff like that, I'm not all about dress to impress. These people are all about making a statement. I'm just all about awareness of what's going on, what's really going on in our skies. So I have a couple friends from the Big Island. One, her name is Lisa Thompson. She does podcasts on Facebook. She's very kind of, I'd say, famous. Yeah. She runs MUFON on the Big Island. I showed her all my pictures of my ships, and she was like, "I saw some of this, but I have to say, Vegas, I'm very impressed. That's the closest I've ever seen anybody take. Like, a lot of people wouldn't be able to handle what I do. I was taking pictures every single night. I would greet them with a laser blast in the sky just above the horizon, and they would pop out of the sky. Some ships were 400 feet wide, looked like Star Destroyers from Star Wars.
Are you
I could see.
serious? Yeah, like I've
I could
taken
actually see
pictures
these
out
things.
here in my backyard and I don't even see the UFOs. I'm looking at the moon and it's giving off like this electric blue color on the clouds. So I'm taking pictures of that.
Right.
And then as a photographer, when I zoom in, I can see like spacecraft and it's like, I think individual
Ain't that
shuttlecrafts, but they're all like kind of tucked into the clouds. And not only that, they're in the same formation. So if they're pointing down, they're pointing down. If they're going this way, they're going this
I'm gonna
way.
tell you something. I saw this guy, this Russian guy that had a piece of glass. When you would put it to your eye, you could see extraterrestrial crafts in the sky. You take it away, just like the movie They Live with the glasses. I'm telling you, a lot of things that I've been seeing lately. I was like, hey, wait a minute. That reminds me of the kind. Another thing I learned:
It's
extraterrestrials,
not
they
because I need a
love.
special glass. It's just because I can't see. You know, a lot of people think
No,
I'm
no,
giving
no,
them
no, no.
dirty looks, but I'm just trying to see who the
Yeah.
fuck that is, you know? I'm squinting my face,
Pe-
looking at him,
People
and
with
they
a
think
high
I'm mad.
frequency are able to sense and feel. It's kind of like a Jedi, if you will. Just be able to
Mhm.
sense and see beyond the veil. A lot of people are sleeping, so they have the veil covered their eyes, right? They don't understand. These are the people that laugh at us and call us freaks and whatnot, but they're gonna be
Mhm.
the ones that's left. I'm sorry to say, but hey, somebody got to take the fall. I mean, a lot of people that don't believe in this already, they're saying in their mind, heart, and soul, they don't exist. We are the only people. We're it. You know what I mean? That's not. No, we've never been the new kid on the block. We live among. They live among us, and we wouldn't even know. They look just like you and me, or one of your best friends. Could be from just hey, a little different, but I've been your friend for
Maybe I'm the
for your whole life.
alien. Like you were saying, like when I was a kid, I never
There's
fit
58
in.
species.
I'd share my stories with people and they'd be like, stay away from her. She's the weird girl. Because I was born in Arkansas, but I'm a Colorado girl. Um, but no, like people treat you like an outcast and it's like you never belong
Yeah.
anywhere. And that's why we make our own
But
spaces. You know, I made my, yeah. And we
once
find
you
our own
open your word mouth and
family.
you say UFOs,
Hmm.
they think that you're dumb. You're like, oh, this person is not on a couple cheeseburgers shy of a Happy Meal. But it's just people are just they don't know because they're not educated in this topic. The reason they chose me is because I was a master Lego builder. I watched the shows. I was always fascinated. They would be watching me. I guess they told me they was watching me look at the stars with my lasers and stuff like that. They was watching me, testing me, see how I would respond when I first seen them. Remember I told you I didn't know what they were at first. I had to eliminate it. Now when drone was not finally came close enough, I'm like, "Da-da-da, that's a that's a UFO." But see, not everybody gets to do this. The fact that they even allowed me, because they told me we don't usually interact with humans. I'm sorry, but once you notice, you guys see us and oh look, and then pew, yeah, they can sense that you watching them. They're so highly evolved with their, the whole, like, if we had access to our whole brain, holy shit in a handbag, we'd be able to do
Well, I think
things,
a
read
big
people's
part of it
minds.
is like the telecommunication, and that's how they communicate. And some of us here
Some
on
of them
Earth are
do.
able to do that. Like I've telecommunicated. I do it all the time. Like I get in my husband's head all the time and he hates it. He's like, get out of my head. But with other things that I've encountered, one especially I telecommunicated with because I was frozen or paralyzed. So the only way I could speak with him was telecommunication.
I hate
I'm
that.
still
That's
not
like
sure if
after
that
it's like
thing was an alien or a demon.
okay, this is how you know it's a demon. This is out of experience for me. You smell the smell of sulfur, like rotten
Mm.
freaking eggs, like something just so like a Bigfoot. When they say they smell a Bigfoot, same thing. Sulfur, very very just like make your eyes squint. Egg smell, but and if you happen to be getting scratched, that's a second factor. But
Mm.
how you know is a demon is there? They grab you by the spine and try and hurt your spine. That's how you know that there's a demon in your vicinity area, very close to you. I'll give you, for example, my friend just gave me an app because I told him I felt like there's things in my house because my cat's been
Mm.
acting weird lately,
Yeah,
and so I had this app where you would see you'd be able
animals
to
pick
see
up on
things.
stuff.
So I turned this thing on. I'm on my bed, like I am right now. I got my weed in my corner, my guns in my corner, all my flashlights and my CE5 tools. And all of a sudden, I turn the thing on and I aim it towards my entrance of my door. There was one right on my bed, touching all my freaking gear. All that has batteries and powers. And oh, I jumped back like a little girl. I'm not gonna lie. Ah! And then I looked again. There was another one standing right against my door. And they waved at me. I was like, oh shit, that's my galactic buddy. I didn't say ghost, demon, you know what I mean? 'Cause I didn't get that feeling, but I got the feeling like there was something there. That's why I told my friend, what kind of apps can I get to actually see like what's around me? And let me tell you something, it really, really put spirits are all around you, just like UFOs are all around you. It's like I said, I work with patterns and stuff. When I saw that, and it automatically, I communicated. I'm like, okay, I see you guys. You guys are part. You guys are the Federation watching me, like you guys are supposed to, because I'm an ambassador. Cool, right on. So at least I knew that I was being monitored still. You know what I mean by them. It was for me. I'm 51. I was 47 when they did this. You know what I mean. You have no idea what I've been through. The military put me through hell. My mom died in 2021 when I was having my visitations. I had to deal with my mom wasn't the best mom, but she's still your mom regardless. And my uncle told me that she died in his arms. I didn't know how to I didn't know how to act. You know what I mean? To be honest, like my mom got rid of me at 11, then again at 15. When I got shot, my mom helped me for a little bit. She started to, I don't know, maybe it was the fact that I was in that state, bleeding to death kind of thing. Parents, they tend to do weird things sometimes to make up for the things that they've done.
Tell me about it,
So
because I'm one.
I appreciate my mom at the time. I didn't say anything, and so when my mom died, she called my phone from beyond, and it rang and rang and rang. I saw my mom's name. I could see clear as day. And I'm looking at the screen. It's my mom. It says mom, and I didn't want to answer. On the fourth day that it rang, I finally picked up. I said, "Yes, mom. What?" She goes, "I want to apologize for everything I've ever done to you."
Uh-huh.
And it was hard to swallow some shit like that. Let me tell you something. Having visitations of UFO, that's one thing, but having your mom atone for the shit that she did evil to you. My mom did so much bad things to me. I just don't even want to bring it up. But she asked
My
me
mom did too,
for my
and I've been
forgiveness.
like on and off angry about it. Like I was ignorant at first, then I realized what happened, and then now I'm just trying to go through the steps to finally forgive her because she should have been the one there to protect me. But instead, she was protecting
Absolutely.
somebody else. And so I'm very angry about that. And she's come to me as a
Well,
bird a
we've
couple times and just looking at me like this. And I'm like, yeah, mom, I see you, but no, I'm not going to be forced to forgive you. Like, this is going to take a little bit of time because I'm upset.
absolutely.
Because as a
I
mother,
was.
how could you? But we're raised differently and we have different upbringings and different souls,
This
I
is
guess. But we all make mistakes because we're human.
right. This thing that happened to me was really, really bizarre, enlightenment, and just in awe all at one time. So I'm downstairs in my building. My girlfriend's upstairs watching the cats, watching TV. I was downstairs for 7 hours in tears. I was grabbing my heart because I don't know why. Because my mom died, I'm never gonna see her again or even talk. I didn't even. She was COVID. I hadn't even get a chance to tell her goodbye or anything. Damn fucking rules of COVID. I hate COVID. I tell you something. It was just something
Mm-hmm.
that I realized that I really truly hated when we had to go. People were showing their true colors in Walmart, punching each other because their mask is not
Well,
above
not
their
only
nose
that, but
or any
it's
kind of shit.
turning our worlds upside down. Like my husband and I and all of our kids, we got COVID. He went to the hospital. I was like, ain't no way I'm going to the fucking hospital. I'm going to stay here in my warm spot, drink my protein drinks every day, and try to drink as much water as I can. But luckily, he went in. It was
Right.
the first of the year, 2 years ago, and had to get put into a coma, had to get a tracheotomy, like all kinds of stuff. So it was me and
Yeah, I
three
didn't. I
kids
was
trying to take
lucky.
care of three kids. It was scary. Plus, it
So
makes
when
like
I
those of us. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, continue.
Well, we already have issues like social anxiety and stuff because we never fit in, this and this and that and that. And then you put us in a box and then you expect us to be better when we get out. There's so many problems now because of what they did during COVID. And this whole thing was, I believe, a pandemic. They knew what they were doing.
Pandemic. I like that. I never heard that term before. I write poetry, so like whenever I write, if you see my stuff, I know you do. You look, there's no periods and commas. I'm actually channeling. When I channel, I write poetry. It either comes out chaotic, psychotic, a little erotic,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't matter. There's no thought process. I'll just throw on my Facebook and start writing. A lot has to do with them, with the Galactics channeling to me, telling me that, we are here. So the military made it very clear that they're flying F-22 Raptors over my building. They
Mm-hmm.
actually contacted me and they told me straight up, we've been watching you for a while. I was like, why? I told them straight up, I haven't done anything. We know, but the fact that your galactic buddies are back. And I told them straight, I thought you guys told me I was crazier than a fucking foxtrot. They're like, we know you're not crazy, bro. We've been chasing these things for 4 months. Hear sonic booms above. Yeah, I said, yeah. A lot of people were wondering what those booms were above Hawaii skies. They're having training exercises with them. Apparently is what I was told that they were engaging with them, not in a hostile, just tagging along with them, watching their movements of how they spin their ships, and they were doing the same thing. And so this was told to me by the United States Air Force of my island that they were kind of being playful with each other, not for the whole entire thing, but just to show themselves that hey, we're here for Vegas. We're not here to fuck with nobody or to mess with you folks, but we're just showing you what we can do as well. I mean, you think you guys are fast, but you ain't seen fast, bro. Not even close. We can go one direction and hit the other direction in You guys can't do that. You have to turn your plane and go around, and in order to go exactly where you're from,
Bend space and
tap
time
point.
and
Okay, but we do. Okay, so there's a new group called. What was it called? It's three little words. It's like Arrow. Okay, so Sean M. Kirkpatrick is the founder of Arrow. They're like the people for UFOs and stuff like that. But there's another group. You ever heard of Dr. Stephen Greer?
yes,
Okay, so
and it's
he
amazing
does the
how much
same
he's
thing that I
grown
do.
and how much he's aged in such a short time. Kind of
Right.
wondering
It's
what's
I'm gonna
going
tell you
on there.
something. I I don't I have no disrespect for the guy. He's been doing
Mm-mm.
this a little bit longer than I have. He was Clinton's advisor back in 2017. That's how I know who this was. I'm like, wait a minute, just put hair on his head and glasses. I'm thinking, dude, that's Clinton's advisor. You know what I mean? So I was thinking, whoa, I remember from 2017. Okay, so I was, the autistic people we can remember faces pretty good. Um, but something was off. I'm like, oh, he's bald. No, that's what it is. So I kind of put two together. But he does C5 a lot. What I do. He said that he came across a couple entities and whatnot. But he showed one picture that's you can see the eyes. You can see kind of like a triangle looking head. To me, those are like the ant people, like the insectoids or whatever you want to call them. Their heads are a little bit different than your regular
Insectoids, like they
extraterrestrial.
got the triangle heads,
Right.
there's the
Yeah. Yeah.
mantids,
Yeah.
there's the ant people, there's
He gave. So he showed up one picture. I have on my phone what you would consider an interdimensional transmedium being. She's holding a blue sword. Okay, let me explain something. So I have two expensive lightsabers, very, very expensive, like $800, like 15 different colors. It's not like the newer ones that we have now, but so what? I bought them from Oregon, California. My auntie lives in Oregon, so she bought it for me. I paid her back, and it's like one of my favorite things to play with. So back then, I'd play with them a lot because I didn't have any friends. A lot of people looked at me weird. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck. I was having the time of my life. So they would see this lightsabers things, and my girlfriend lived in the country. I lived in the building that this is happening, and she lived in the country. They would follow me. They would follow our car. The next thing you know, I
mhm.
took a picture of a woman wearing a red cape. Her eyes were very, I don't know, Deadpool looking, red, black. She had wings. She was holding a blue sword down to the ground. I have this picture. I'll show it to you as soon as I'm done with my 4 days. Well, I can even send it to you, and if like I message you like on a comment side, I can send it to you that. Um, she came to show me. Look at my sword. This is my sword. Very proud to show me what she had, and it looks like a blue lightsaber, but it's a very medieval looking sword, and she has it. She can see her hands holding it to the ground. That was her way of saying that, I acknowledged that she thought I was some kind of Earth champion. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, no, no, no. You know what I mean? But I
You're
thought it
like,
was it,
no, 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 none of that. But I have to
no, for
interrupt
real.
again
I
because
told him no, I'm not. These are LED lights
not
and
me,
it's just for fun.
coach. I think it's the next guy. I think
But
you have the wrong
they
champion. No, but I was
the
going to
pictures
say,
that
like,
I have are
let's
really,
wrap it
really
up really quick and then
interesting.
we have to go to break. But yes, I've seen your pictures and I've seen my
Yeah.
pictures, and I'm
What
like,
what do you think? What do you
this
think
ish
of
is
what I
for
sent
real.
you?
Because if there's any sort of graphic manipulation or anything going on, like, generally you'll see it in the buildings around it or whatever, like, and it's one after the other after the other. Like, these are pretty intense pictures. I need to share some of my pictures,
You can't.
and I'll have video of aircraft too. It's pretty crazy.
You can't Photoshop something like that bright. You just can't. Not every single night, every single night. A lot of people are like, you're a master trickster. I'm like, dude, don't give me credit. I can't take credit for something. You know what I mean? That no, I'm not a trickster. These things. were watching me every single night. The deal is I get to take pictures and video. They get to watch me. That means my 41st floor window, I'll be watching like Ancient Aliens. They'll be right next to my window.
Hmm.
I promise. My girl was like, "Your friends are outside your window."
I love
It
Ancient
was
Aliens and those different,
yeah.
shows. It's just, different things.
I
Everybody's got
didn't. Let me
questions
just
and they're really delving into it. So I was like, wow, I never knew that. So it's pretty
right.
cool. We're
I
just
didn't ask for
educating
this.
ourselves. Hmm?
I never asked for any of this.
Hmm.
Seriously, I didn't. I didn't think in a million years I would ever see one. I've seen more UFOs than most people saw one. You know what I mean? Like you can't tell me that they don't exist. You know what I mean? I've got like more freaking proof than most people on Facebook. A lot of people like, oh, look at my picture. So far up in the sky. How am I supposed to know that's an UFO? It doesn't even it's so far up in there. Give me one good reason why you that's a UFO. Oh, I said, see, you can't even tell me. Like the ones I have are so close. They would
Hmm.
like one night I was like, "Oh, stop! I want to see what color you are underneath." The thing would turn, and I got to see underneath it. It looked like counterclockwise and clockwise movements, like reverse engineering. I don't know. That's the best way to describe it. It was cool. I
No,
got to
they
witness
do
all this.
move and they move weirdly. And it's like, yes, they're in
Right,
formation, but it's
right,
not
right.
regular formations. And they're moving, but it's not like regular movements. And it's totally alien. Yes, I do believe that a lot
No,
of these spacecraft are not spacecraft. They're actually from other countries, but there is a lot of spacecraft and it's been going on for over 100 years. And they're just now coming out with all this thinking, surprise, but a lot of us have known forever because we've just been educated that way or gifted that way. We just know without knowing. How do you know? I don't know. I
so
just know. I've said that so many times.
one night I was sleeping and my brother had that, those hazmat thing,
Mm-hmm.
people that snore. So they have that.
Yeah.
Well, when you wake up and someone's calling you and you're looking at your screen, and you're trying to squint to fucking see who's looking at you or who's
Yeah.
talking to you. Yeah. So one night I saw that light, right, and I looked out my window, and all of a sudden I saw something hovering on my brother's window, but I thought I was sleeping, so I went back to sleep. Next thing I know, I'm being lifted through my window like a rotisserie chicken. I'm looking at the asphalt. I'm looking at the stars. Looking at the asphalt. And I was like, what in the fuck is happening right now? So I remember being inside it was like one mold ship. And the people were not the color of Avatar, a little bit more purple, if you will. They had
Mm-hmm.
crystals in their freaking middle forehead. And I was like, what? I didn't panic. I didn't freak. Because I thought I was sleeping. I thought I was dreaming. But they told me some stuff, and they told me that we're not gonna freak you out or hurt you or anything. We saw your beacon, my laser. We just want to talk with you. Like, why aren't you afraid? And blah blah blah. And I told him, I said, should I be afraid? I don't feel like afraid. I should be afraid of you folks. And he goes, we are called Octorians. And I was like, your skin is really really cool. And it tilted their head. I must have been in the ship for a good while, but they showed me something, a star chart that no one's ever seen before. It's from it. They call it 31 and a half light years away from here. They call it planet Aurora,
Mm-hmm.
where it's in a Alki nebulae, somewhere I guess in a Pegasus or beyond Pegasus galaxy. And they told me that that's their star system where they come from. When Robin Oppenheimer released the atomic bomb, a lot of them heard our cries, or heard the Earth call out for help. Like they're ripping a hole within the fabric of our dimension.
Yes,
So
and
that's
it's
why you keep on
very
hearing,
close to us. Like there's a black hole very close to us. We should be afraid right now, but we're too busy to worry about it.
yes,
But yeah, and it was not too long ago that like you said, it was ripped in the fabric of our time. Thanks a lot, CERN or whoever the fuck did that.
oh, but
But
we'll talk to CERN. 5 more minutes. CERN. You know how I knew CERN was real? is when I would look at cereal boxes and it spells something different. Like the
Mm-hmm.
Flintstones was Flynn, not Flint, but Flint would be more because they used Flint to start a fire. But it was, I swear, it was a Flintstone growing up as kids, not Flint.
Hmm.
So there's certain things that's called the Mandela effect. That's how I knew
Yeah,
CERN was
like
trying
Fruit
to.
Loops. It used to be
I
fruit,
mean,
now it's
right,
FROOT. What? No, it wasn't.
right. See, I'm gonna tell you something that I think when CERN opened that up. Just hear me out. When CERN opened that up, I think when they opened up different timeline, I think we all died. Just hear me out real quick. Just the reason why I say what I'm saying is something when they open up this timeline and got rid of our timeline, so we're all like ghosts, if you will. So we've been seeing a lot of UFOs because outside of the looking glass, they're trying to help us and bring us back to our dimension because
Mhm.
they know that we can't do it on our own. That's why they talk about the firmament and stuff like that. So I wrote something. I wrote a poem about that. When indeed that I really think that CERN fucked up and we are in some kind of a matrix simulation
I
because
think
of
they did it
them.
repeatedly. So many things have changed, and we don't die. We go to an alternate universe. So it's kind of like playing with the cube. You know, you're playing with this cube and you're moving things around. That's just like what it is. And
Right.
CERN's just like repeatedly doing it. And so it's like this big kid playing with this cube, and we're changing uh, alternative
Well,
universes,
in this
or
timeline,
people in our
there's
life are.
extraterrestrials,
So it could be you, could be your child, could be your husband, could be whatever.
but they're talking about. So now what I'm hearing is, you ever saw the movie Soylent Greens? A lot of us are used as cattle for food. I'm not gonna
Hmm.
lie. These are things that I've learned recently through my sleep, through people. A lot of people tell me things here and there, just little small and
Hmm.
it seems to be like a piece of the puzzle that I'm missing of the of what I'm going through, my journey, my legacy of a lot of people are. How come this is happening to you, not somebody of higher importance? Excuse me. You know what I mean?
Well,
I didn't ask for this. It's just it's
no.
kuleana in Hawaiian means responsibilities.
Hmm.
Something that I didn't ask for, but the universe thought I could handle. So as far as that goes, it's called. I'm 51, so this is my calling. This is my this is my legacy. You know what I mean? A lot of people can benefit from my experiences. You know what I mean? What I was doing for 3 years was teaching people of everything that I've been through. I've done it already. You know what I mean? I'm teaching, like hearing people that, oh yeah, I made contact. I'm like, cool. Yeah, pictures. What do they look like? What star system are they from? And they can't even give me that. So it's like shit. Trying to find somebody that's Akamai, which means smart in Hawaiian, that
Yeah, and like you
makes
were
sure
saying,
that
like
they.
how we grew up, we were always outcast. We always stayed to ourselves. We still do it today. Um, but like that's where I call it coming out of the paranormal closet. I did that in 2012 because there was a friend of my daughter's that went missing. We all knew that his dad had killed him, but we didn't want to believe that. And that's when I was like, I'm going to come out of the
Oh,
paranormal closet. And that's when I started my paranormal group, because I didn't care what people thought anymore, because somebody needed help. Like if that was my child, I would want somebody to help me. So that's how I came out. And I don't know, I'm just very sad that that happened, and it took forever for the whole process to go forward. But I'm grateful for different things like that in our lives that kind of force us. Like we're comfortable
so
where we're at, we don't want to move, but whatever happens to our
it was,
family or friends like forces us to kind of move forward.
it was an Amber Alert on my island in Waimanalo where this young little girl was just vanished, and everybody and their grandmother was looking for her. I started getting hits in my sleep of her from behind, of seeing her hair, what truck she got into, and I just couldn't
Mhm.
see her face. You know what I mean? So always sometimes it's always from me. I don't know why that happens, but
Like
it's
a
always from
spirit.
behind. But yeah, I saw the truck, I saw the girl, I saw what she was wearing, and then I find out then another dream I had that she was in some kind of a dog kennel and it wasn't feeding her, but I still couldn't see her face, but I could see her. I could
Mhm.
see her in anguish pain of being hungry, and they broke her leg of some sort because I remember she kept on saying that she's in pain.
Mhm.
So after all is said and done, I got in touch with the FBI and I told them who I am. I introduced myself. I said I'm just weird like that. I said I know things, so I'm going to tell you. You guys need to grab your cadaver dogs and go where the marsh is. I think she's in a suitcase with rocks that are holding it, inside to make for weight. Sure
Yeah.
enough, they found her in a suitcase. I thought I just and they asked me how you know this. I said, bro, I'm in Pro City, and you know what I mean. I happen to be a paranormal detective, if you will. And they were really, really, really tripped out that, you know what I mean. They've never seen me in Wamanolo, and you know what I mean. They looked on the camera. I was never around there. I showed them my picture, what I look like, and they said, "Well, bro, I had a friend in high school was like you. He didn't really get much into it because they're really not into that shit. But I actually helped. That
And
was
it's
one of my
so
first things
great,
that
like when we can, like it sucks because I would not wish that upon my worst enemy, but at the same time,
I
if you can help, do help because there's not a lot of help out there. But we do have to go to our second music break just because I generally wouldn't take it, but I really got to hit the head really quick. So, we might do a couple
just
songs and
15
not
minutes.
the, huh?
We're gonna jam some guitar for 15 minutes. When you're ready, just
Awesome. So we got Mr. Jeff Hilliard from Los Angeles, California with Good Life, Gravity from Krakow, Poland with My Last Goodbye, and Dan Medina, who used to be a member of Gravity, going out on his own, kind of like Harry Styles with I Won't Let You Go. And then my favorite, Mr. Fred Johnson III with After Dark. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this music break.
Excuse me! Excuse me! You got a cigarette? Hey, you help a guy out with some spare change. Anything will do, man. God bless. Can I just get your change? I missed the bus. I got these 6 right there. I'm running out alone. Moving like a steak knife. This is the good life. Dancing in the moonlight. I wanna be inside of you. We got plenty to do till the 1:45. And I know you wanna ride my Cadillac. Don't give me no flack. I'll put you flat on your back. Moving like a steak knife. That's right. This is the good life. Dancing in the moonlight. I'm a sexual phenomenon, and you know I'm a sexual phenomenon, and I know I'm a sexual phenomenon. We all know I'm a sexual phenomenon. Get money, get high. Don't care if I live or die. Get money, get high. Don't care if I live or die. Welcome to Classic World, the Army Oswald. Dance around these funky sets, jumping around in the ocean like you. I'm really cool because I have a train and a drug. No one's looking at you, no one's your God's not gonna save you. They're hiding behind the moon, watching your every move. This is the good life. This is the good life. This is the good life. Get money. again. Running in circles, losing my head. I'll never be good enough for you. So why can't you see anything I do? You say you can save me, so why don't you try? No matter what you tell me, tonight I'm gonna say my last goodbye. Oh. You say you can save me, so why don't you try? No matter what you tell me, tonight I'm gonna say my last goodbye. Oh. My last goodbye. Things come in said, streets of these are going to dead end. Listening to waves on windy days, standing by the wall, making sense of it all. So alone in the dark, all alone in the dark, all alone in the dark. You're alone in the dark. 'Cause I won't let you go. You're so far away, always with my soul. I won't let you go. Oh, you're so far away, always with me in my soul. Yeah, yeah. Looking for a reason, not a lead. Mystified, lives inside a world selling us all. Oh, she's alone in the dark, all alone in the dark, all alone in the dark, so alone in the dark. 'Cause I won't let you go. I won't let you go. You're so far away, always with me in my soul. Yeah, yeah. And I won't let you go. perfect date, yeah. Living at the dark, I search lonely streets to find hidden shadows in the dark. It doesn't matter what I say. Secret homicides arranged in a series of pursuits. No matter what I say after dark, I gave her base because she had the range. I knew she was the one that never could go home again. Plastic lights like limo seats. I don't know why I can't control this urge to hurt again. Yeah, living at the dark, I search lonely streets to find hidden shadows in the dark. It doesn't matter what I say. Chasing sinister, murder forever after. No matter what I say after dark. Feeling ran to arguments and fear. Hiding place with days of December. Concerning works or meshed in the madness. It doesn't matter what I say. It really doesn't. No matter what I say after dark. It doesn't matter what I say. Secret homicides arranged in a series of pursuits. No matter what I say. Shades in the sky, murder forever after. It doesn't matter what I say. Brooding fatal, lacking the hint of conscience. No matter what I say after dark.
I just gotta say, it's pretty hard not to sing along with that song. But welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining. I, myself, and Mr. Brandon Vegas. He's been sharing his experiences and wealth of knowledge. And thanks so much for hanging out with us, Brandon, and educating our ignorant minds.
So, what questions do you have? Like, what do you want to know that's been scratching the back of your head? I mean, no.
I don't know. I just enjoy hearing your stories, just like when I hear people tell their ghost stories. Like, I love hearing that. I love having that shared experience. So, I don't know. I don't really have a lot of questions, like as far as going into, oh man, I'm trying to think of the name of it. When you were a kid and you had to go through all that psychic testing as far as paraphenomenon and being able to move things and such, like that to me would be not only intriguing but very, very scary, because you're taken away from your families and you're not really allowed to talk to each other, and you're put through all these difficult, tiring tests. Like, that to me is pretty interesting. But Jen was asking about that thing I was talking about, where do you think it was a demon? Do you think it was an alien? To me, like, after you explained it, like, all I know is it was a dark force. And I do believe it was alien. To me, it reminded me of, what is the anti of Spider-Man? Venom? It reminded me of Venom, the way its head was shaped and the way it had the sharp fangs. And even though, like, when I first saw it, I'm in a room with no windows. The lights are turned off because I'm with my husband who's in a band. We're taking it out before the gig tonight, and I'm sitting there trying to go to sleep. I have insomnia, so it's hard for me to go to sleep, and I see all of a sudden this black figure go in front of the door. And that's when I noticed this figure that's darker than the dark. And that was the second time I got sleep paralysis. The first time was when I was in MRP in the Marine Corps, and that was my first time. Second time was with this fella, and that was my last time too. But he came over to me, and he was right in my face, and he said, "I will have you." And I couldn't speak because I'm frozen.
I don't like
So
that thing.
telepathically, I'm telling him, "No, you will not." And he laughed and he said, "Yes, I will." And then he leaned down, he kissed me. And I have to tell you, Brandon, when he kissed me, like it went like a electric shock up through my canines, into my brain, down through my body, and out through my toes. And as soon as it shot through my toes, I tried to kick my feet, and my feet were freed. Like the rest of me was still frozen, but my feet were kicking. And I'm trying to scream, I
That's
can't.
demonic.
And well, that's what we were talking about before, but like I said, I think it was a dark alien. There's bad aliens out there. There's good aliens out there. Either that or not a succubus, but what is the other one? Incubus.
Incubus.
Yeah. So he kissed me, that shock went through me. It was like you could see the bolt of lightning. You could feel it going through your body. Then I was able to kick my feet, and I couldn't scream, but I think me kicking my feet woke up my husband, and he woke up and he actually saw this entity too, and he reached over and grabbed me and pulled me towards him. Thank God, because he broke me from whatever that was. And I got up the next day and I was scared to go to work because I kept looking in my rearview mirror thinking this thing was going to be in my back seat. This thing was going to follow me home.
Oh,
thank God that was the one and only time I saw it.
So your husband saved you from that one. I would say,
like I was able to partially,
I've seen things that you described, but they have red eyes, so they look like venom. I'm gonna tell you a little something that I was told. So in Russia, they shot down a UFO, right? And there was 29 men total. 26 went in to go look, to retrieve the crash, the craft, and 2 of them stayed on the outskirts with sniper rifles. So as they were getting closer, the extraterrestrials all joined and combined with each other like venom. Funny how you would say that. What happened was they exploded, and all the men were turned into stone, limestone. And the 2 that were away from it, nothing happened. So they changed their molecules from the human anatomy into limestone. Kind of like, remember in the Bible where a lot turned around and turned into a pillar of stone?
Pillars of salt.
Or whatever. Yeah. So I thought I do it patterns, and I do it just, you know what I mean? Like similarities, like, oh, and I was like, when I first heard that, I was like, oh, some of the Bible shit's for, some of the Bible. So when I was visited, they told me a lot of stuff about the Bible. They said, we don't call it the Bible.
We have an interruption. My son is here waving at you. Do you see his 6 fingers?
Oh, show me your fingers.
Can you show him your fingers?
That is so cool.
That's so cool.
Dude, high five, bro.
I can't even hear him. He said, "That's so cool. High five, brother."
I bet you he wasn't expecting that. That is so cool, dude. That is evolution, my buddy.
I don't warm in your office. Yeah, that's because I have that little box heater. But yeah, he's amazing. He's a miracle child. Like, I had my 2 girls, and I wasn't gonna have any more kids. And my husband kept begging me because he wanted to try for a son. I was like, hell no, I'm done. But yeah. Then here comes Floyd, and that's when, while I was pregnant with him, I had those UFO sightings. So I'm wondering, is he actually from the heavens?
Will you stop reading my mind? I was about to ask you the same fucking question.
No, I'm telling you, I get into people's heads. It's not on purpose, but
I'm gonna tell you something. Here's my. I just saw what I saw, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna say. He's the next step of evolution. I'm gonna tell you something. You know, him, he's got part extraterrestrial in him. I'm sorry to say, but how I don't
That's
know.
what I'm saying.
And
Like,
it
are these, since the only time I saw UFOs started in 2012, same year he was born, I only saw them beginning when
oh,
I was
that's
pregnant with
so
him. And then
cool.
ever since then, we keep getting visitations. Is it because he came from the heavens?
I do
Makes
believe.
me
Okay,
wonder.
so Kalani means so Hawaiian Kalani means heavens. Honua means earth, right? He is from Earth, but also from Kalani, also from Kalani Okukua. Like he's also so he's a star seed, not just a star seed, but he's evolution. So somehow down the line, they took eggs from you for the human female human hybrid program. This is what
I
I'm
don't know. All
seeing.
I
I
know
mean,
is
correct me
like
if I'm
I
wrong.
come from a very fertile bunch. My dad said all you had to do was look at your mom and she'd get pregnant. So yeah, if they did take
Nice.
seeds or eggs, like I don't even know. Even Jen in the chat room, she's like,
And
just a
then all of
couple
a
more
sudden,
questions. Have you ever been in an alien craft? I don't ever remember being in one, but I'm pretty sure it could be possible. Um, I don't know. Like,
and
look
you
at
can
the
use
gifts
all
I've been given.
you can use your bro. You can use your hand like normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can
Can
use your hand normally.
interesting.
Come over here and tell them. Yeah.
Don't
Come
worry
over here
about it.
so I can
Don't be
see.
shy, bro. I'm super cool. I
You
got
can't
pit.
shit
Did
on
your
my
mom?
lap.
Did you see my UFOs that I sent your
Oh
mom?
no,
Did you
I'll
see it?
show them the UFOs. Yeah, we've
I can't
seen
hear you.
many UFOs at our
I
house.
can't.
Oh, yeah, we've seen many UFOs at our house. So yeah, I'll
No, but
definitely show him the ones you
did you
sent.
show my pictures?
No, not yet. Oh, I'll try again, but his
Oh,
headphone's
bro.
not working. I try to get the earbud to work, but it's not. But yeah,
I
we've
seen a
seen
lot of
UFOs.
UFOs, my little man.
Uh, through Bluetooth. But no, through here. Through the computer, yeah. Like he and his sister, so I was working overnight security for a while. That's how I got to pay for my surgery. And I'd call them every night and, tell them good night and talk about dreams and stuff like that. And they were telling me about an alien experience they had, and it was right back here, behind my office, and there was a big old mothership. And at first Lily was telling me the story, and she's like, these aliens came and they took us on the ship, and then Floyd jumped out, so I jumped out and we ran, and then somebody jumped on the alien's head. They argued about who tripped. And that's when I knew, like, when they started to argue about that, I'm like, that is not a dream. That's a shared experience. So that to me was pretty awesome. But that was a mothership.
I don't know what that is. I don't remember.
It's a big, like, spaceship. Like,
I know what that is, but
yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Well, I've
You want to see
seen
something
so many
cool?
different spacecraft and a mothership. Go ahead.
Watch the ceiling.
Watch the ceiling.
Look how thick the beam is.
Yeah, let's make it big.
What if I just
Look at
turn
that.
this on?
So this is the thing this is the laser that I use
Oh.
to make contact. And I was just messing around. Like I literally
That's
was
the
aiming at
laser
the
he
Orion
used.
constellation, and next thing you know, I started
Got
seeing
it?
these coming down, coming down, coming down, coming down.
Mm-hmm.
Then they kind of went into a pattern like this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like maybe so my building, I lived on the 41st floor, so 41, 42, 43, and then the roof. So we just had 5G towers put on the roof by helicopters. They dropped down and they did some work up there. So it's if you're there for too long, you can get radiation sickness. That's what I was told by
Mm-hmm.
security. But when they were hovering above exactly that, I would think that they was actually powering up their ships with the 5G towers. So when Central Intelligence called me up and they asked me, want to know, Vegas, if you've been around Ebens, EBENs, you'll know a few things. I'm like, shoots me, brother. What you want to know? He goes, what is the correlations between a UFO and a volcano? I'm like, oh, they
Mm.
drop down really, really low into the volcano. They come like crystal blue,
Mm-hmm.
and they shine really, really bright. What they do is they're absorbing the energy from the magma itself of the volcano, and that's what powers up their grid. They use grid lines,
Liquid
the
hot
aurora
magma.
borealis, and we have three different grid lines on our planet. One is magnetic, one is I can't remember the other two, but we have three different ones, and they use these things such as F5 tornadoes, and you usually see where there's a F5 tornado, there's usually a UFO nearby. They
Mm-hmm.
use all that energy that is caused from the natural resources of our planet. A lot of people don't really know that. But someone showed me a picture of an F5 tornado with a UFO very close to it, thinking, "Oh, that's that theory just got busted." You know what I mean? Like that's true. So your finger's really cool, bro. Like I don't even
What
know how to
up? That's what I
word
do.
by
Gotta be
words
my
right.
sign.
You're special. Don't let anybody in school make any kind to you, make fun of you. You're unique and you are meant a special way to be
Yes.
this way. So other people can be jealous all they want. Just try not to words of advice. Let them talk all they want to talk. They'll never be you. Just know that.
Yeah.
You're special, you're unique, or you wouldn't have what you have. That's a gift, bro. People don't get gifts like that. It's just unnatural to have something like that. So you are
Mm-hmm.
special. Don't let anybody tell you any difference, okay? So next time a
And that's what
person
I was
makes fun
saying.
of you,
Like, they're telling me to cut it off. I'm like,
you
that's not my decision. That's up to him. If
yeah.
when he becomes,
No,
a
no,
young
no, no,
adult or
no, no.
whatever, if he wants to do it, that's cool. But I don't think he will, because there's no
They
issues really
gave you
with it.
that. They gave you
Yeah.
that for a reason. Nothing in God's world is by mistake. It just doesn't happen that way. Like that is given to you. That's a God gift. They're telling you something. They're indirectly telling you that you are from the stars. You're from the heavens. You are from earthbound, yes, but you come from the heavens. Don't let anybody ever tell you anything different. You are special. You are loved. They know the people above and watch you while you're in your home. Not to scare you, but to protect you. Just know that. I'm very special myself. I'm older, but I'm very special. I picked up on that when as soon as I seen your finger, I was like, oh, that's so cool. A lot of people that are into this subject would see that and they would cry, like, oh, how come I didn't get that?
Well, to me, it resonated
It's
because
not
it
in their
was
cards.
like, so I didn't grow up here. I was born in Arkansas, lived in Washington State, moved here as an adolescent, and I remember when we were pulling into town, I was like, Uncle Bill, what's a Navajo? But it was Navajo. It was an Indian
Navajo.
tribe.
Yeah, I
And
got it.
yeah, I learned so much, had so many experiences, and I don't know. I know Floyd is so special in so many ways, and super proud of him. And I love his sideways smile.
So okay, so out of all your subjects that you do, what do you like? What is your favorite subject?
In school? In school?
Yeah. What is your favorite
What's your
subject?
favorite subject?
What is the one thing that makes your eyes light up? Something that only something you very
What do you
much
love to
enjoy to
do?
do. Stare at the stars, yeah.
Play video games.
In school. Art?
In school?
Science?
Uh,
History? Social studies?
recess.
What
Recess.
wrong
My favorite
answer.
was
But whatever, I mean
science.
it is what it is.
What is your favorite subject, dude? Come on. Can't be recess. That's not a subject. You don't get grades for that.
What's the one thing that would you love to concentrate when they talk about it? Everything else doesn't matter. You rather play video games. What is the one thing that you like about school? And it can't be recess, bro. That's
Friends. That's the
not
only thing I
happening.
like about school.
No,
Okay,
not friends,
fine.
not recess. It's got to be a class.
It has to be a class of
Mm-hmm.
ELA because there's not much work in
English, literature, arts.
Oh my goodness.
language arts.
What is the one thing you like to do in school? that you're very good at out of all your subjects. You got one subject that you have to pick.
Band.
Band. Music. Music is
Cool.
universal.
Awesome. Awesome.
He is the
I
most
played.
epic drummer in the world. And he also in school plays trombone because he was curious, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, because Dad has
Dad had a trombone, so he picked that.
like laying around on the floor, so I didn't have to pay the $50 fee.
Yeah.
And then I
Nice. So
remembered I
just
had
use your
drums and I
dad's.
could just rub those.
But he's an awesome drummer. Like,
That's
he's
nice.
good on the bass drum as far as, like, using the foot pedal, and he's good on all the handworks. I think he really likes it.
Just look, he's blushing. Mom, stop it,
yeah,
Mom.
there's other guys in his family, like, which are his cousins. They like to say they're his uncles because his dad is like their brother, but really, he's their uncle. So,
Ain't that weird?
they're his cousins, but they try to claim uncleship. But yeah, they can't even play drums as good as him. And I like to, say it's because I played Pink Floyd on my stomach while I was pregnant with him. But it could also be because he's from the stars. I was an epic musician too. Like, they're like, how do you get the keys?
I play a lot of 80s stuff, like Oreo Speedwagon, Sticks, just stuff that we had really, really cheap. Your son don't know who you be talking about. We had really good
He
music
knows.
in the
Pink
80s,
Floyd,
90s.
like, his name is Floyd.
Sweet.
He was named after Pink Floyd. His name is Floyd. But yeah, he's a really good musician. Cool. Just like the rest of his family. His grandfather didn't have to go to World War II, I believe, because he was a musician. He played at the Musicians Club. And that made him feel really guilty because his brothers went overseas, but he didn't have to. So that really, hurt for a while for him. Yeah, he comes from a long line of musicians.
I was supposed to have gone to Desert Storm, but I got shot in my back of my spine. It was during Desert Storm, so I got shot. I joined the Navy, and my recruiter came to see me. He said, "No can do. We cannot use it in the military." So things happen for a reason. I do believe that, even though that all sucked what happened, but
well, yeah, no matter how good or how bad, everything happens for a reason.
There you go. I like that. Like, I'll give you, for example, the person I live with, say we're super, super close, but we're not like, intimate thing. But her birthday's today, and I happen to, in 5 years, I haven't been sick, and I got sick over the weekend. I don't hang out with nobody or socialize with hardly anybody, so I don't know how I even got sick.
3 minutes left.
Come on.
But I was sick for 2 days. I was not having it. Like, couldn't sleep, toss and turn, can't breathe on one side of my nose. And I haven't been sick in 5 years. You know what I mean? It was like just out of nowhere. So today I feel a little bit still kind of crappy, but so she bought me Pizza Hut and a 2-liter soda and brownies. But I'm like, why are you buying me something? It's your birthday. I suppose, well, because she plays volleyball with her friends and hangs out with her friends. So, and her friends they're not like us. They're not into UFOs. So, I really don't even know how to talk to them about. They're all about smoking, drinking, and playing cards and playing volleyball. I don't do none of that. I smoke. They play volleyball, so they talk a lot about volleyball stuff, and I don't understand. So
yeah, one of my daughters, she was like volleyball champion. Every year she was in, like, they excelled, but yeah, I don't know. I was good at volleyball, but I don't know. Like you said, I never fit in as a team. I'm just grateful that my kids could. The
girls in
world's a hard
Hawaii,
place.
the girls from Hawaii, they play in the sand. It's a little bit different from being on court, where they play in
Mm-hmm.
the sand volleyball, and it's harder. You get unreal muscled and toned from playing in the sand. I had a friend that was professional. She was from UH, and she was a player. Her name was Victoria Prince at the time. Oh, so yeah, I mean, this has been a very interesting week, couple weeks. I've been getting to now back to tax now back to the story. So I've been trying to get in touch with the military and give them a proposal of certain things that what to expect when they come. And as an ambassador, a lot of these military people want to play because I ain't military. I kindly said, "Could you shove it up your ass?" I said, "I have a badge that's
Like, I'm sorry, sir.
justifies your badge."
You're a citizen. You're not a civilian, or you're a civilian. You're
Oh no,
not a
but
citizen.
when I tell them under NATO cage 922 G7 hold a top secret clearance for CE5 special intelligence
Mm-hmm.
for close encounters, then I show them my badge. They're like, "Oh, Mr. Vegas, the tone changes." So I spoke with NORAD. NORAD is a missile kind of in Colorado. They got in touch with me, and somebody from Anchorage, Alaska, got in touch with me that speaks UFO language. There's this girl, and she said, technically I'm not supposed to be talking to you, but I've seen them. I know what they look like, and brought up the fact that she goes, looking at your page. She's like real quiet.